Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello people and welcome to Footy JUDGEMO. I don't know where to start. We start with Arsenal or Manchester City, but I think we'll start with Arsenal, of course. Declan Rice sees red. Arsenal fall back. They win a point at home, as people want to call it, of course. They get a point, of course, as people want to call it. Arteta, substitutions. Declan Rice is away from the North London Derby. Moreno's injured. We're not sure if Timber is going to be fit. But big up everybody that is here. Hit that like button on your way in, people. Makes a difference for the channel. Let's get to 100 likes right off the bat. People, Dio had an emergency, so he couldn't join. But we're joined, of course, by Martin. Of course, Olu. Gunnar Souls is here representing Arsenal. Will is here. Ahmed is here. And Ahmed, Manchester United, will be here momentarily. Hit that like button, people. And how's everyone doing? It's glum faces. I don't know.
Man, amazing, man.
Yeah, I'm a little bit tired. I've been sick for a while, but feeling good. Yeah. Feeling better at least today than I think I got the Rona.
Oh, so wait, you just had to get what's called well when it was time to roast Arsenal. I see how you are, Will. I see how you are.
It's just a coincidence. In fact, I had to watch the highlights. I didn't actually even watch the game this morning. So
nah, you just fueled by hate for Arsenal. I get it.
Well, I mean, Mo is texting me. He's like, "You got to be here. Check the Arsenal game."
Oh, so it's Mo's fault.
It's always my fault. You know how it goes. It's always my fault.
I did watch the post match on the football terrace, though. That was pretty tear filled.
Talk about hate.
If I say before we go on, listen to the red light of Tranga. Appreciate the super chat, my man. Hit that like button, people, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, guys, it's gonna be one epic for sure. Actually, before we start with the Arsenal fans, just before we start with the Arsenal fans, I want to get other people's opinion on the game. I'm actually going to start with Ahmed, Chelsea. I want to hear your opinion.
Yeah. I think Arsenal actually started quite well. I have to say, like, listen, I'm gonna give them a bit of credit. They started quite well. They were pretty much on the front foot initially. They did get that goal. You were cooking like that. The fullback, I forget his name, the young guy that they got 19-year-old. Saka was like having his way with him. Hinselwood. Yeah, he's having his way with him. I think where the game that really changed essentially was with the Rice, basically, the second yellow that Rice received essentially, and. I've been here. The thing with that, what he did was, whether we want to admit or not, by the letter of the laws, he did do something wrong, right? He kind of did deserve the second yellow because, and at the same time, what happened with João Pedro, for example, he should have got a yellow for that as well. I think two things can be true. João Pedro should have gotten the yellow, and then he should have also got the yellow afterwards. But after that, I think Brighton went under front foot, and then, I think it's ironic of Havertz. He's been scoring really well for you guys. He scores the harder chance. When it comes to scoring the easier chance, just cannot fit into the back of the net, bro. And like you guys had another two other chances. Like I think Saka, obviously, was kind of almost pushing himself to get there. There was one more chance, but like Brighton should have kind of won it. There was that chance where he should have just put it into the back of the net, really. Like that one where he said it hit the goalkeeper, like that one really should have put into the back of the net. But at the end of the day, man, with Arsenal, you got the point in it. Now. I'll ask how you guys are gonna feel about that because I'm quite neutral on you guys getting a point. At the end of the day, we're down to 10 men. If I could be like, oh, it's 2 points lost. That means Man City's gonna crash it on you guys. But we can only really see that towards the end of the season, really, in my personal opinion.
Go on, who's next to
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Sorry, my hate. Listen, I just want to just let everyone know. My hate is coming for Sterling. My hate is coming for Sterling. My hate is coming for Sterling, guys. So.
Go on, no. Declan Rice, go.
No, you know what it is.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
You know what it is, yeah.
You forgot, of course. You forgot.
Give me my name. I forgot.
You guys forgot. Ahmed is here.
Declan Rice, go.
Arsenal fans, are actually flip-flops. They're flip-flops. I've actually clocked it. Yeah.
Which ones?
Arsenal fans in general, Arsenal fans in general. I'll tell you. I want everyone to listen, You Arsenal fans play the victim. They always play the victim. Because that Declan Rice red card was justified. It was a red. The guy put in a challenge where he got a yellow. That could have been a red card. He literally fouls the other guy, gets in the way of him, and then he kicks the ball. And people are saying, "Oh, we got robbed. It wasn't a red card." Of course, it was a red card. It is a red. Why are you getting in the way of him? Why are you kicking the ball away? Why are you fouling him? You fouled him twice. Just admit that Declan, and he was having a stinker as well. And also, I want to talk about Saka as well. Yeah, he was having a stinker, bro. Rice, he was having a stinker. Yeah, that guy is.
Rice was having a stinker.
Yeah, Rice wasn't playing that good. Yeah, I've been saying it. He's not that good. Now let's talk about Saka. Yeah. Because I was getting called as carrying this Arsenal team. 2 chances he got, 2 chances, and he fumbled it. But people want to talk about Martinelli. I don't even rate Martinelli yet, but it seems to me that Arsenal fans are scapegoating Martinelli. He came on a 15-minute cameo. You said drop him. Trossard didn't do anything on the left, and I didn't hear anything. Saka's talking about, oh, where's the consistency with the ref? You're the same guy that dives. What's he talking about? He's diving 24/7 as well. This guy's fallen over. He wouldn't be talking about the decisions had he bagged them chances. So I just want Arsenal fans to keep the same energy, because if that was Granit Xhaka who got the red card in Declan Rice's position, Arsenal fans would be cooking Xhaka, but they will be cooking him. So I just want them to have the same consistency and the same energy and criticize all of their players, not single-handedly. Oh, Zinchenko and the common players, Zinchenko, Martinelli. It's getting boring now. Just say this isn't even hate. I think Saka's good, but them 2 chances that Havertz gave it to him on a play, he should have buried that. He could have got the 3 points. So I feel like with Arsenal, when things don't go their way, they talk about the ref. It's always the ref. Oh, this ref. They said, oh, we missed Saliba. That's why we didn't win the league. You had Saliba, bro. The guy left a huge gap. So defensively, they've not been good.
I mean,
Why
thank
did you
goodness
turn
his
off
camera
his
went
camera?
off.
Can I just say,
Why did you
shout
turn
out
off his
Pedro?
camera, bro?
Nah, bro, listen,
Mm.
defensively,
They had
this
to
is-
hide real quick.
defensively, yeah. What was they doing defensively, Saliba and Gabriel, especially Saliba, yeah, because he's been moving a bit, shaky lately.
It was a
So
good ball.
Big up João Pedro, man. You know what I mean? Listen, he's looking
he's
like
a
he
good
might be
player,
his
João
breakout
Pedro.
season. He's
But
gonna have a breakout season this season, bro. I'm telling you, João Pedro's gonna have a breakout season this season, man. I feel it, man.
no, but I just don't like it though. I just don't like it when they say, "Oh, the referee, he's against us. They've got robbed." Bro, Casemiro in my team was getting red cards for breakfast, bro. You move on. Dallo got a red card for winning a throw-in, yeah, against Mo Salah. He got a red
Did
card.
Man
That's it.
United fans move on when Casemiro
No,
got
move
that
on,
red
bro.
card?
There's always
I
going
don't
to
think he
be.
moved on.
No, but the reason why you dropped points today wasn't because of the ref. Yeah, you dropped points because you missed chances and Declan Rice got a red card. That's what, and poor defensively. That's why
He
you
said-
drew the game.
he says
Arsenal are the reason why. Yeah, they didn't finish their chances. It's
Okay.
Arsenal. That's. I just want to keep it like straight up in it, like no agendas, just honest truth. That's
Do
it.
you know how? Do you notice how he says moves on? Then he still remembers the 2 times the red cards happened against him, mate. I think you need to learn to move on as well.
I have moved on. I don't cry about
No,
refs.
you just brought it up for no reason.
No, but it's an
Anyways.
example. It's an example because I haven't
Sure.
complained about it. I criticize my team
Okay,
despite poor decisions on the ref. I don't say, "Oh, the reason why we lost was because of the ref." You
No,
lost
but
the game.
You
lost the game, yeah. And you
just
lost the game
mentioned-
because of poor finishing.
You just mentioned 2 red cards that you feel you shouldn't have got. But anyways, we'll continue.
It's just an example. You're taking it straight to the point.
I'm
yeah,
just,
like, I'm not.
I'm just saying.
The last one before we go to the Arsenal fans, well, they go to the North London Derby. No Rice. Moreno's injured, right? I'm not sure if Gabriel Jesus will be fit. First of all, what did you think of this game? What was your take of this game? I know that you watched the highlights.
Yeah, I watched the highlights back a couple times, a couple different versions of it. So I don't know like all the details, but the main points I got pretty much. Now, on the Declan Rice red, for example, look, I think after seeing it that it was kind of stuff. I think if he already hadn't been on a yellow and didn't just clobber the guy, he probably wouldn't have gotten a yellow card if he wasn't already on one and then was potentially trying to delay it, right? But he gave the referee, who had already talked to him several times, a reason to give him another one, right? Like, that happens. There's a chain for that, right? Like, take Romero, for example. If he even goes something that's even like questionably a yellow or a red card, he's getting it because he has a reputation. And that reputation follows him from game to game to game to game. He has to be like extra careful. But in this particular instance, Declan Rice doesn't have that reputation, but he was already like in the referee's mind, right? And so if you don't want to get it, yes, by the letter of the law, it's a thing. I think it was a little bit soft. I don't think most instances, because he didn't. It's not like he booted the ball halfway across the field. It was just a little flick with the foot. I don't think they normally give that if he wasn't already on a yellow. But it doesn't mean Arsenal was robbed. Like, this whole robbed thing is kind of silly because you had chances before that and you had chances after that and you didn't score. Like, way back that whole first half, the only real quality chances, I think like Brighton had like 0.08 XG or something like that in the first half. Like, they had nothing. You guys had like 3 or 4 big chances in the first half that you guys should have. That game should have been done and dusted before Declan Rice even got sent off. And then even in the second half, when you guys were down to 10 men, you had chances. Like, yeah, Brighton had probably more, but you guys had chances to put the game away and you didn't do it. So it's not the ref's fault that you lost. I mean, you can say that the call was a little soft or something like that. That's fine, but it's not you guys being robbed, in my opinion. As far as them coming to, Tottenham next week without Declan Rice, I personally, being a competitive person, would like to face the full strength Arsenal. But if we take points off of you because of it, I'm going to be happy about that too. So I'm a Spurs fan. It'll be a good day.
Okay, now we go to the Arsenal fans, and I don't know who wants to start.
I can start.
Go on.
Ringleader.
All right, I'll start. All right, which one ringleader? Just say I'll start. All right. First of all, Declan Rice, I agree. I mean, what he did was silly in terms of putting his foot out, and by the letter of the law, deserves to get sent off. I think the biggest mistake he made was the first challenge, in fact, because that put him on the back foot in terms of what he can do in the match. So it was actually his fault in the first instance of getting the first yellow card, and the second yellow card. Listen, very soft. like everyone here can agree, it's very soft. In a perfect world, you'd want the referee to take common sense and say to the both of them, listen, no more of this. Like what you do is like essentially just try to referee the game. But in the end, Declan Rice made him make a decision, and in the end, like he can't complain about the decision that was made. So I just think that it's one of those things where you just have to chalk it up to we effed up. Like Declan Rice effed up, and he has to just take it on the chin. Never put a decision on referees. Like in boxing, when they say don't let the judges have to make a decision for you. Don't make the referee have to make a decision for you. I think also, and again to Will's point, which I weirdly agree, it was our fault. We should have been more than one goal up going into second half. That game should have been out of the minute we get into second half, anything can happen. And the fact that we didn't score more than one, being so dominant, is our own fault. But what was interesting and probably a little bit comforting from the second half after we went on 7 men is after Brighton had the goal, which was a massive mistake in the midfield that parted and then defense parted. They didn't really have many clear-cut chances. Like they had chances, but it didn't feel like Raya was having to make world-class saves. It was the one chance where obviously the player hit it straight towards Raya, but the rest of it was pretty much half chances, right? And actually, it was actually Arsenal that had the better chances, which is actually comforting to see. Because normally, if this was 2 years ago, Arsenal would have just buckled under pressure. It would have been 3-1 by the end of the game. So to be able to feel like we kind of had a little bit of control, even though we didn't have control, is something to build off. But yeah, it's 2 points dropped. Rather than 1 point
Martin,
games,
do you agree with him? Martin, do you agree? He's very like he is blaming the team, not the referee, that you weren't 2-0 up, you had chances, you should have finished the chances. I think what I'm hearing from Olo is we could have done better, which just didn't.
Ola's doing the mature thing, you know. Yeah, it was our fault. We lost, blah, blah, blah. But I don't want to see games decided like that. I wouldn't want to win a game like that with the opposition getting a player sent off or something like that. I think that it feels like we're not actually playing the same game of football sometimes. The stuff that we get players sent off for, like too long to take a throw in or 2 yellow cards at the same time for like 1 foul and other fouls, it just feels like we get refereed differently. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think it was bullshit. We should have done better. Yeah, we should have taken our chances, but the quality of refereeing is not equal to the supposed level of the league. I feel like this guy Kavanagh, he seems like he's got it in for us. And every game that I've watched him referee, he is particularly bad. So yeah, maybe I'm just a salty Arsenal fan that bitter that we didn't get our 3 points, but I felt like we had a really good first half. It was a close game. 1-0 was pretty fair for the first half. Brighton were quite good. And then once they got to the extra man, we were just chasing shadows for most of the second half. And Mo was saying earlier that we should have done better, and potentially, you know, we could have, but I can't imagine how we could have rearranged ourselves to get on the front foot in that second half once we were down to 10 men. It felt like it was just, we've got to try and take our chances when they come and keep them out. And we did a pretty good job at that, but we didn't take our chances. So we've pretty much got ourselves to blame. Rice has himself to blame. It's funny that he's played 400 senior games of football, and this is the first time he's got a red card, and it's for one of the most pathetic red cards I've ever seen. So just roll with the punches, pick yourself up.
You don't think it was a red?
It wasn't a red, man. It wasn't even
it literally was.
Will was saying that he got a red because he already had a yellow. I think it's the other way around. If he didn't have a yellow at that point, sure, you can accumulate and say that would have been enough to give him a yellow. But to send someone off the field and ban them for the next game for what is essentially a 2-foot tap of the football when it had already been rolled into him, it doesn't make any sense from a sporting standpoint. And maybe it's just the Australian in me, but I like.
It was accumulation. That's why he got sent off. It was accumulation. That's why he got sent off. It was actually
he didn't do anything. He did that tackle, and then it was half time, and then the second half started, and he was just battling with the guy in the corner. There was no advantage to Brighton that they lost. There wasn't any advantage to a quick free kick, it was close to a goal or anything. It was in their corner, they weren't going anywhere. And the guy he was pretending to kick it to wasn't even looking. He had no intention of doing a fast free kick. He just wanted to get Rice sent off.
And do you think I would?
The ball was rolling when he kicked it. So
I would say, do you think that the João Pedro decision, where he didn't actually card him, was probably in the back of his mind, and he was thinking, "Oh, if he does stuff like this again, something else happens." And
Yeah, that's what accumulation literally.
Yeah.
is.
So I feel like that's what I feel like he had that in the back of his mind. Yeah, probably, and he was thinking,
way
"I have
he-
to cut something if
he-
that happens."
The way he did the cards, he was like, "It's the rules, basically." You know, this was
Yeah, that's what I was thinking,
This
yeah.
was a time wasting thing. I don't think it was a time wasting thing, and I think the João Pedro kick away. Everyone knew that he was lashing that away. We've seen that. We've seen Robin van Persie get sent off the Champions League final for lashing the ball away when he couldn't hear the ref's whistle.
Right, but
I
you
don't
have
think there's any
to
excuse
understand that
whatsoever.
according to the rules, that was a yellow cardable offense, and it's always down to the referee's discretion whether he issues the card or not. He doesn't have to do it.
What's the rule for that particular thing?
It's going to be IFAB Law 12 delaying a restart.
Did you have the wording for it? Like, because it's
I
such a
can pull it
gray
up if you
area
want.
of the amount
It's
of
not
time
gray.
wasting people
You
do
kick the
during
ball
game.
away. If you kick
No,
the
no.
ball away on
It's
a dead ball,
completely
that's
not
that's a
refereed
yellow
like that
card.
in 90%.
Well, even
of
if he
football
wasn't
games.
sent off,
Right,
though,
because
even-
it's down to the discretion of the referee whether
Exactly,
he
so it's a
chooses to
gray area that's
penalize it
not
or not. It's not
rules.
gray. It's a clear violation of
It's
the
shady.
laws of the game.
But that's
No.
why.
It's
But that's why the
down
ref.
all
How far
calls.
away do you need to
Wait,
kick it for it to
wait,
be a time
wait,
wasting?
wait,
How
but that's-
much?
but
Like,
that's-
can you
An
throw the
inch.
ball up in the air and delay like 1 second? Is that a yellow card? Is it
inch.
2 seconds? Like,
Yeah.
you got to
And if-
be
and if-
like, enforceable.
Anything, listen, anything can be enforced. That's why I said the ref should have refereed the situation better, because ultimately there was the kick out, and that's what everyone was focusing on. And obviously, you'd seen the flick out of his foot, right? Now, if it was Pierluigi Collina, who everyone would regard as the best referee, I'm pretty sure he'd have just grabbed both players and say, "Stop messing around." And I feel like he had a chance to referee that situation and say, "I've seen what's happened. Like you didn't. It's not." And obviously, like you said, the player kicked the ball forward first of all. The ball's rolling. Rice flicks it. Just referee it and say, "Guys, like start the second half. I don't want to send anyone off. Referee the game." So this is where sometimes the issues with a refereeing a game versus referee just going by rules starts to become a problem. I still think that yes, Rice, the red card was the red card because under the laws of the game, what he did was a second yellow card. But the referee could have refereed that
Does
situation.
anyone have
better.
the wording though? Like, because
Yeah, I'm
we can
looking
say
at it.
IFAB
Just give me
12,
a second.
I thought they brought this into like major enforcement from last season. No, wasn't it like
Yeah, they
last
did
season when they
last
really?
season.
Last season was when they heavily reinforced it, if I'm not mistaken.
But
So.
then, but
Yeah,
then,
so
but then
yeah,
Papa Matasar got, I think he was either sent off or got a yellow card for literally just like flicking the ball with his toe.
Exactly. Yeah.
It
'Cause
depends
I remember
on
the
how
past
far
few
away
games.
you kick it, or like how far after the whistle's been blown. But
Basically,
had
like,
last
it's
home
once
game-
the-
whistle's
Wait.
blown, the ball doesn't
Wait,
have to
we're
be
talking
rolling
about
or not
rules.
rolling or any of that, right? As
Yeah,
soon as
yeah.
the whistle's blown, the ball is dead.
If we're talking about rules, in our last home game, we had a guy get choked, and we had Jesus get a yellow card
Oh,
for
yeah.
retaliating to someone fingering his ass, basically. So if we're talking about rules, like there's just no actual correlation between what should be the decision and what is the end decision. So I don't have any faith in the refs, basically.
You know what it is? Like I get where you're coming from. I think the issue is just again that they need to make sure when they're doing these refereeing, there's like a due diligence, like in the sense that everyone, when something happens in one game, it has to be if it happens again in another game, it has to be a repeatable offense. Otherwise, you know, all you're just doing is the saying one rule for one and one for the
I want
other.
to hear what Souls has to say about this, and also, like, I know that now after the terrace you watched it many times, and I know that you said on the terrace you think it's a red card because he gave the referee the chance to make the decision. So did you watch it again? Did you change your opinion? Because I actually changed my opinion. Actually,
I mean, categorically, it's a red card. I mean, it's a second yellow. Forget about the red card. The red card is a consequence of the second yellow, right? So is that a yellow card offense? 100%. Now, just because someone gets away with murder doesn't mean we stop locking away murderers. Just because one person managed to evade the law doesn't mean we stop putting people in prison. The rules are the rules for a reason. They're enforced. You kick the ball. This isn't a new rule where you're like, okay, cool, you know what? You made a mistake because it's a new rule that's been... No, this happened from last season. They got told to stop touching the ball, stop kicking the ball. My annoyance is because of how stupid he was. Firstly, that first yellow card, what even went through your head? We're 1-0 up. Manage your emotions. My frustration is I wanted to see growth in this team. And I'm seeing emotions again. I'm seeing Odegaard doing the same crap he does every single season. Whereas, the fans, give me some noise. Fuck the fans. Make it a dead noise. I don't care. I don't care. Your childish emotions keep ruining our games. And again, Rice, why did you need to do that? Partey, why did you need to pull João Pedro down and get a silly yellow card? It's not about whether we're refereed differently. Just because the rules are enforced on us does not mean we're refereed differently. At the end of the day, stop giving these referees an opportunity. And you know what's even more annoying? Why I haven't said anything? These conversations are fucking boring. Every goddamn time. Do you know what you can do, Mo? Just, you know, all you need to do, put a stream on the last time we didn't get a result, and it's the same conversation. The previous time to that, oh, it's the referee. How can we find? Never ever is it. How do we hold our players accountable? It's how do we somehow twist this to make it the referee's fault? The red card shouldn't even be a conversation. It's a second. The annoyance is how people are wording it. It's not a red card. Yes, it's not a red card. It's a second yellow offense, which results in the red card. Same way, if you violate your probation, that doesn't mean that the thing you did, just because you went out late at night, isn't a criminal offense, but because you evaded your probation causes is why you're in prison. It's the same concept. Stop making it such a thing. It's a red card. You're on a yellow. Stop giving these referees an opportunity to make a decision. It's the same way if you pull a player down in the box, you're now giving the referee an opportunity to give a penalty against you. Don't do it. Stop letting the referees dictate your performances. And you know the biggest frustration for me isn't even the fact that the referee gave the red card. It's how we then went on to actually control that game. We panicked. We lost composure. That's how I feel. I mean, anyone can debate this on me, but for me, we lost composure. We lost all control of that game. I understand hoofball. I understand playing defensive. I understand going pragmatic. I am not sitting here and saying that the approach was wrong or, you know, we needed to change it. But for me, there's moments in that game where 5-10 minutes of it, just hold that ball. Stop playing it like it's hot potato. Stop playing like it's your nemesis. If you touch it, you're going to burn. Like, control it. Hold that ball. Pass it around. Take the sting out of the game. Because the minute that you're getting pressed and overloaded on the attack, at some point, you've got to just manage that situation. Hoofing it back to them and then getting pressure back to you isn't going to help either. I understand that it's a draw and we don't need to go overboard. This is all I have to say on this is Declan Rice is at fault. But we now need to move on because we have bigger things to do. But we need to learn that if these situations happen again, that we're not losing our heads. If you're on a yellow card, don't let the referee dictate that. You know, either Arteta takes them out and puts another player in just for that risk of, because he used to do it with Granit Xhaka, and it's one of the things I will praise about him. In previous times when Granit Xhaka's on a yellow card, there's times that we were thinking, but Granit Xhaka's our best player, why are we taking him off? And then we realized, oh, it's because he's on a yellow card and he's got a tendency to do something silly. But I'm not saying that that's Rice. It's a one-off, and this is the thing. Just because I put an emphasis on Rice and that, you know, he was silly today, doesn't mean he's a dusted footballer. It doesn't mean he doesn't have a future at the club. It doesn't mean any of that. All I'm saying is today, what he did was silly. And it's as simple as that.
I listen, I agree with most of what you said. The only thing I disagree with is the point about how Arsenal could have played in the second half. And the reason I'm saying is that because Brighton is intentionally pushed all their players forward and there's less space for you to move. Basically, Arsenal had to just drop back, 5, 10, 15 yards, right? And especially right after the sending off, they've got their ascendancy. So as the game went on, you saw that it started to normalize in terms of we were pushing it back a little bit more. But in terms of game flow, in terms of sort of, I'm using wanky terms now, but in terms of game flow, in terms of how things go, it's only natural that once we go down 10 men, the line is going to drop back. And even the tactic itself, you saw all the players were in a bank of 4. Now, the thing I will say, though, is that, for example, if Man City in that position, I think Man City will control the game better. And that's the one thing that I'll say Arsenal still need to learn in terms of this team is growing, and they can knuckle down and defend. But in a situation like this, where you're playing, when the top teams will still find a way. Do you remember, I don't know how old you are, Souls, but I remember when Arsenal in the 90s, early 2000s, we used to get red cards all the time.
I'm too young for that. I'm too young.
Okay, you're too young then. But okay, I'll tell you, Arsenal used to get red cards all the time. Under Wenger's regime, the one thing they used to say was that we had no control. We used to go down to 10 men all the time, and we would control games. because it almost felt like actually if Arsenal went down to 10 men, you were in more trouble because all of a sudden we just found ways to win. That's the next thing that.
So Olu, can I ask you something? Can I interject here? And I want to ask something. So people, something. I said to Husam on MHF, there are only two, and you and Martin as well, because Martin disagreed with me first when I did the stream earlier with him. And I'm going to ask Martin this question first. I told Husam there are only one of two things. It is either Arteta knows that he doesn't have the quality to control the game after he went down to 10 men, or it's by design that he decided, I'm going to sit back, hoof the ball forward, hoping that Havertz and Saka will win second balls. Which one is it?
I think it was the second because you saw the switch from Saka from being on the right-hand side, which naturally you'd have just kept him where he was and just say defend, right? He actually put him up front. So it was the idea was obviously to use Saka on the break as much as possible. Try to win the ball with Havertz because Havertz is actually really good in the air. And when possible, try to break with Saka. And actually, the chances we started to get came from the fact that he adapted his formation. I just think that the maturity and the ability to control the game when you're down to that many men isn't still there with Arsenal. And
when the team has been together for 4 years, when?
That's what I'm saying. That's the question.
But the things that also experience comes down to it, right? And the reality is that Arsenal, maybe we don't go down to 10 men enough, which is probably a good thing, or maybe it's just a case of actually the emotion of the game got to them.
Although you should have better quality players than your defenders that should be better than Van Hecke and Lewis Dunk. The your left back should be better. Ben White is better than Veltman. Baliba, whatever his name is in the midfield, is a good player. But Thomas Partey should be better on the ball than him. Martin Odegaard is there. Kai Havertz is there. Bukayo Saka is there. Every single name for Arsenal, every single name is a better in their position than Brighton's team. And this is not De Zerbi. This is a young coach that is new. This is why what I'm saying, going down to 10 men at home, and I'm not saying maybe have 70% possession, but at least be close, not just defend deep and have 11 players behind the ball and hoping for a long ball. Because on paper, if we're looking to this Arsenal team, you should have the quality to at least play some football when you get the ball, the goal kicks and everything, not just play it long and try to hit the corners. And by the way, if Brighton, hold on, let me just finish that last point because people are saying, but Brighton are crazy in the press. If Brighton are crazy in the press, on paper, Arsenal should have the quality to bypass that press and even be more dangerous when Brighton play a high line. That is the counter to the point of, but they press us so high. Man City sometimes press Liverpool high and Liverpool play out of the press. Even Man City today, West Ham tried to press them and they played out of the press. Yeah, but that is just a natural footballing thing.
That's what I mean. There is more. Sorry, Sozaligo. There is more. When you've got the extra advantage, there's always more angles, more space. There's always that one place you can run, the player can move into, right? So, and this is, I'm not tactical, but I'm just saying from a tactical standpoint that those things happen. And also, I mean, someone said it in the chat. There's the momentum of the game. There's also the fact that they're literally squeezing the pitch. So it's not just a case of just pass your way through it. If you can do as many passes as possible. When you look, there's a time Havertz had the ball and he ran with the ball, and literally he was by himself because he had gone 20, 30 yards.
That was a long ball and he brought it down magnificently. It was a long, high ball and he brought it down magnificently. It wasn't like, oh my God, Brighton pressed us and pass. Oh, we're 3-on-3 or we're 2-on-2. It wasn't like that. It happened once in the second half. It was even the second chance. It was a long diagonal ball to Kai Havertz on the side, which is fair enough. But I wanted to see that happen 3, 4, 5 times. That is what I am to be honest with you guys, I am holding Arsenal and Arteta here to be this team. And people are telling me, no. It is okay for us to fall back and defend even at 1-1. Forget 1-0. I get you 1-0. But at 1-1 at home, this early in the season, you should have the quality to at least play out of the press. I know that some people don't like to say that, but that's me holding Arsenal to this level. Not here.
Isn't that like risk management? When you're dealing with a situation where you've got 10 men versus 11, you want to invite them onto you and you want to spring them on the counter attack. Basically, if you commit yourself to passing out from the back and trying to hold possession in the middle, you're going to find yourself in a situation where there's a turnover and it's like 5-on-3 from their side because you've committed your men forward. So I think what we've done, and we've seen this before when Arsenal get a man sent off, we form a very resolute back line. It's very hard to get through us. It's like, come and attack us, and then we'll take our chance on the counter attack. It just didn't happen like that today. And I'm not quite sure if the team is at that level where it's going to be still balling out when it's got 10 men versus 11. I don't even know if that's the right idea, because we saw what happened with Spurs when they had 9 men and they're playing a high line, and Chelsea are just like lobbing it over the back for fun. Like, and everyone laughed at that. They're saying it was naive. So I don't think you can necessarily win in that scenario. We just needed to take our chances, and then it would have been a masterstroke. If Havertz had slotted his, or Saka had got on the end of that cross, we would have been like, look at us, great. We can still win with 10 men, but we didn't do it. And you just got to suck it up. I don't think there's anything more that we could have done in that situation to change the way we play without taking a huge risk and losing.
By the way, I never said play a high line, by the way, Martin.
No, but like it comes with it.
I never said press with 10 men like Spurs. Spurs press with 10 men and 9 men. I never said press. I said when you have the ball, take better control of the ball. Take more care of the ball when you have the ball. That is my point. But
everyone has to shuffle forwards in that scenario when you're trying to pass out from the back.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah, because you need someone to pass to. If there's no one up there, you're not getting the ball out. So you're going to move another man up.
Martin, that's a double-edged sword of an argument, though, because the point that you're trying to make is that we need someone out there. But guess what? Every time we hoofed it up, we had no one out there either.
I would say that the biggest mistake, I think Raya was kicking the ball. He kicked the ball out a couple of times on those, like there's times where we should have held possession. And I saw Arteta on the sideline saying, calm down. And we still kind of hoofed it long. I think there's a tendency to just sort of go long and feel safe, where we need to, maybe take more risks, draw them onto us and try and pass around them. But I don't think people are giving Brighton enough credit. Once they get the ball, it's very hard to get it off them, especially in like a nice pitch like the Emirates.
No, but both can be true, though. You can praise Brighton for the way that they handled the press and the way that.
Well, no one's praised Brighton so far. Like, everyone's just been like, "Why didn't you dominate?"
I didn't think they were great. By the way, I didn't think they were great. They were passing the ball around. I can't remember a clear-cut chance for them.
But even more, both things can be true. Like, we can sit here and go, "Okay, Brighton did this, and this, right?" But at the end of the day, the way I see it is that we need to hold Arsenal to a higher standard now. We're no longer this top 4 team. We're no longer this top 8 team. We're no longer this. We're competing for the league title. And I understand you're never going to be perfect in every game. There's going to be scenarios or situations that kind of happen the way, hamper the way that you play. But my kind of problem is that we lost control of the game. And now that could be by design and hoofball. But for me, I wanted to see a hybrid of the two, because the red card situation came in the 49th minute, if I'm not mistaken, right? It was very early, within the first 5 minutes of the second half. At that point, you can't drop back because it's far too early. It's far, far too early to just, die on the sword of like, let's just defend this one. Now, I do agree, like, to some degree, okay, get Calafiori on, get a bit more defensive solidity, but I wanted to see it in phases. Okay, maybe for 15 minutes, stabilize yourselves, get into the fact that, okay, we're on 10 men, but then go for them. Because as soon as they started pressing onto us and they did that, we needed to then hit them with a shock factor that makes them go, do you know what, crap, we can't just keep playing this way. Because what we're doing is inviting a hell of a load of pressure back to ourselves, which then increases their opportunities. Because look, we can all agree Brighton are a good and a competent side. Whether we think they're a title or they can get top 4 or not, they're a competent Premier League side. They're a very good outfit. João Pedro can finish. They've got players who can create a moment out of nothing. So if we're inviting that and we're saying to them, here you go, have opportunities at us, and we're just going to have this great wall of Arsenal and you're never going to surpass us, that's inviting a higher risk, in my opinion. But if you then say to them, do you know what, you throw a jab and you uppercut them and you knock them down, guess what that's going to do? That's going to put a bit of fear back into them and go, actually, we can't be this nonchalant. We can't just put this high line out, and we need to actually step back a little bit because they can hit us. And I agree to some degree. Where
what happened to Man United last week against Brighton?
That could have done it. But
what happened to Man United last week against Brighton?
What's that?
They went to sleep.
They
went to sleep. They had 11 versus 11, and Brighton got a late goal and won the game. That could have happened to us. Brighton could have got all 3 points. So
but do you not think
risk versus rewards like scenario?
But do you not think in the United game, like, their players went to sleep? But I would argue that your defenders are much more competent than the United fans.
Yeah,
I
but
feel like they would hold
Way
on.
better than
We
United.
didn't put
Yeah, so
ourselves
like I
in that
feel
situation.
so no, but like the point I'm trying to make though is that still like there, I feel like Arsenal's defense is a lot more competent to realize, okay, we need to make sure we know what we're doing there, to be honest. And I just go
well,
ahead, bro. No,
I was
I
gonna
want to
say-
make my let me make my final point
finish,
quickly.
finish,
My
finish.
final point quickly, yeah, I just want to make is that I feel like your players now, maybe like they've been barring Calafiore and Marino, they've been with each other at least a season or two, even some of them have been together for 3 seasons at this point. They should be able to have the connection, the familiarity now with Arteta to be able to do, certain stuff and actually hold possession on some level, even with 10 men. So I kind of like disagree with this idea of them being too overly defensive, at least when it was after the 50-minute point.
I hear that, but again, the thing I'll come back to is if you look at the chance, if you actually just objectively look at the best chances in the second half, right? Arsenal had more better chances than Brighton did. So actually, tactically, the way Arsenal set up was actually starting to work. Like it's another Havertz thing from 2-1, right? And then you're talking about a team which has already got its defensive shape working in the second half. Now you're saying to Brighton, now break us down, that we know how to defend. Basically, it's Saka being 5'11" rather than being 5'10" and getting to that ball across the ground by Havertz. So tactically, actually, it was probably the only way to set up in the way the game was going, right? That could have got Arsenal something out, or could have got the 3 points out of the game. I think that. Look, it's disappointing, and Arsenal fans should be disappointed at the fact that we collected 1 point, because I always believe, always go and get 3 points, right? But I would say rather than if we were getting absolutely battered, like I'm talking like absolutely battered, we're clearing the ball off the line, I'll be sat here with a little bit differently, right? I know Brighton had more possession, they had more shots, but I never felt like Brighton were actually controlling the game per se in terms of battering us. If that was the case, I'd have been like, okay, this is slightly different. The most
I don't think we
chances
went
came
into
to
our
Arsenal.
shell, right? Like we didn't make any substitutions for like 10 minutes after the send-off, right? Was that my imagination, or did it take? It took a long time
Yes, you
until after
didn't,
the goal.
because you don't need to, because Kai Havertz
Yeah,
can
so
actually
I
drop
think
in the middle
Arteta
and
was
help
like,
it.
we'll still be fine. We'll just play without Rice and we'll just keep playing our ball, right? But then they stung us, and then we had to make subs and try and lock it down a bit more. So I don't know. I felt like maybe the manager tried to do it, but the players couldn't achieve the control that we needed.
Yeah, but when they sting you, that's when you actually need to get a goal back, right? Like you can sit back and drop back when you have a 1-0 lead, but once it goes 1-1, now you have to try to get something out of the game, right?
Well,
And
we got something out of
usually-
the game, which is a
But that's
point.
what happened. But that's what happened, didn't we?
If
We attacked
if
more.
you push past that and you go for the win, then you're taking the chance that you're going to lose. So I don't know. It's a risk-reward formula.
I would have rather
not-
Arsenal in this game, Martin, took the
not
chance
familiar.
and get 3 points rather than having the 1 point now, this early in the season.
It's 1 point
I
in game week.
This early in the
Sorry, I
season,
like that. What did you say?
this early in the season, I would rather you try to get the win, because I believe in the quality of the players to actually go and get the win, and your defense is very solid than defending and getting the point, especially at home for
But
this
that's
game.
why. But again,
Early in the season.
again, prospectively, we have to still see the chances that Arsenal created in the second half were chances that they should have scored. So they actually went to go and win the game in terms of when they had a chance. They didn't just sit back for 45 minutes. They at chances they had.
They were
they broke.
counterattacks.
Exactly. they
Everyone
broke
will
the
get-
win.
Everyone will get a
No
counter
one
attack.
was to throw the
But
counter.
Everyone will get counter attack. Yes. You will get chances. Souls, and I'm with Souls here. I wanted Arsenal to at least control the game a little bit when they had the ball. That is what was lacking today. And if you guys think that this is the way to go, I'm saying this. Arsenal on paper have the quality to do this. So if not, why are we raving about Ben White being the best right back, Saliba being amazing on the ball, Gabriel?
Ben White.
Can I say something? Can I add to this slightly?
Before you go, can I just cook?
No, Ahmed.
Ben White absolutely got took to the cleaners by Mitoma. In fact, when they took off Mitoma, I was like, "What are you doing?" Because he had Ben White on toast, and I'd lie. The part of the game where I was a little bit scared was when Mitoma went 1-1 with Ben White.
We took Ben White off, and we left Ben White off. We brought Timber over to Ben White's side and put Calafiore on the left back, right?
Yeah.
Because they were doubling
Went
up on
to
Ben
high
White
back, basically.
with Pedro and Mitoma coming around the left there.
You
Can
know
I
what I
ask
would say?
something?
You know what? You know
Also,
what?
do you know what
wait,
hurt?
wait,
Do you
wait,
guys
one
know
more-
what hurt Arsenal today? To be honest, also not having enough options off the bench because of Moreno's injury, which is having another guy
Jesus.
up top.
Well, Jesus, yeah.
I
No
thought
Sterling.
Arsenal
Timber went
should
off
have
injured
a.
today.
I think it was
Timber-
cramped.
Tight muscle.
It's his knee, which is a little bit worrying, but hopefully he's all right. My point is, Arsenal needed again, and I'm gonna say this again. Maybe you needed someone off the bench of a quality. Maybe.
But we're gonna have that, but we just didn't have it this game. We signed him
Probably
too late.
you're gonna have to wait for 2 months for at least
Hold
one of
on.
them.
What?
Yeah.
Who's the quality?
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
Raheem the
Sterling.
Dream is gonna start, and we'd have Martinelli and Trossard coming off the bench, rightly so.
Ah, okay.
And also, actually, I forgot. There's one more chance that would have been a great chance, which was when Calafiori was breaking through, and Odegaard just had to roll the ball past the defender, and he hit the defender basically. So there were chances there where Arsenal actually were breaking through, and this is where I think like it's down to 10 men. We have to be objective. Listen, I'm not saying Arsenal were perfect, and yes, I've agreed there should be more control by the Arsenal team when they go down 10 men. That's
I'll
what
be honest with you, they
differentiates
grind
Real
it
Madrid
through
and
the-
Brighton. And so
Can I ask
I
this
said Real
question?
Madrid.
I'll ask this question. Like, you know, do you think these 2 points? Do you think Arteta thought, you know, I'm able to risk losing these 2 points
Yeah.
if I'm going to be a bit more defensively resolute? Because that's what I think it just came down to. I think he was saying, you know what, I don't think losing these 2 points is gonna matter to me at least. You know,
This is
come to in detail.
This is the third game of the season, right? Listen,
Yeah, exactly.
and look, we're gonna get to Man City. You can go back to every single stream, everyone's comments at the start of every season. Man City start off, and everyone goes, "No one's gonna beat Man City." Then they drop points, and everyone goes, "This is not the same Man City." And then we get to the end of the season, and everyone goes, "Oh, it's the same Man City." It repeats. This is the third game of the season. It's a cycle. There's 35 games to go. No team is perfect for a whole season. Man City are going to drop points. Arsenal going to drop points. Liverpool going to drop points. It's going to happen. So to lose 2 points now, yeah, you're losing 2 points at home, but there's a lot more the story of this season to sort of write. So that's why I think like it's one of those cases of we drop points. Yeah, cool. Dust yourself up. Go and win your next game. That's just my.
But there's another narrative that Mo was touching on. Is that like if we'd signed a striker, we would have had some firepower to win us that game, and it was a failure from Arsenal to not bolster the team properly in the transfer window. Which
I don't think it's the striker that we needed.
Well, we can get into the technicalities of that, but basically the club has put itself in this position where we are potentially short. So there's no excuses for that. But I wouldn't say third game of the season is any different to the 38th game of the season. We lost the league last season because of points dropped in the middle of the season. And to me, this is a brutal dropping of 2 points. It's absolutely brutal. It could cost us the entire league.
No, I'm not going to go that extreme. I think that's a bit dramatic and overreacting to.
We lost by 2 points last season, and we just dropped.
Yeah,
2 points.
but it's,
So
it's
not dramatic. It's like literally maths.
It's too early. We can rectify dropping 2 points. It's more when you have the run in, like we did in 2024, where basically we needed to go head to head with Man City. Whatever their result was, we needed to match basically, and that was part of the problem. Is at that point you have to be perfect. If you haven't been at the start of the season, I kind of understand what you're saying, but the 2 points could cost us because of. We may need to basically not sacrifice a game. I'm not saying there's bigger fish to fry or anything like that, but there might be a game that we end up losing in the run-in at the end, which a game like this is like the Fulham game. We kind of come back to the Fulham game last season and go, that's what cost us, the Aston Villa game. If we hadn't lost it or drew the Fulham game, we could have won the league, blah, blah, blah. But I just think it's a bit dramatic at this moment in time.
Well, I just mean that there's no such thing as like, oh, it's only the third game. Let's go for a win. Don't care if we lose type thing. Because I think the team, they don't want to lose any game. And I don't want them to lose any game all season. Yeah, I'll take the draw over risking it all for a loss. So, but each to their own.
Over 6 guys, before we go on, guys. Before we go on, over 600 people here, and we aren't even on 200 likes. The minimum likes are 400, guys. Guys, the like button is underneath your live chat because I haven't pushed it for a while because people complain. Why does Mo keep asking for the likes? 140 likes out of 600 people is crazy. Actually, it's absolutely nuts. Let me do a couple of the super chats. JJ is saying the referee isn't there to babysit Rice's second red card, and that is what we're saying. Like it's
referee.
But I actually wouldn't give Rice a second. I actually changed my opinion. I watched it again and again. For 1 foot, if I was the referee, I would say at least talk to him. He didn't actually just delay the game like this because it happened from Joao Pedro and he didn't give him. So you have to actually manage the game better. That is my opinion on it. Because I actually watched it again from a different angle on Twitter, and it was literally 2 feet. Literally push the ball 2 feet. Like they could have like got the ball and played again. Sean here is saying Jesus handball last game of the season, and the referee gave Arsenal the goal. No one analyzed the decision. Let's keep the same energy, people. Someone need to respond to this.
I'm pretty sure VAR looked at the handball multiple angles and said it was inconclusive, so they gave the goal because the referee already gave the goal. So listen, I know what you're trying to do here, but the reality is that
stop sending him money, Sean.
I know the referee gave the
Ahmed, you can't hear you, man. You can't hear Ahmed.
No, but like,
that's a good thing. That's good for you. Referee gave
but
the
like
goal.
even like this whole consistency angle of referees need to be consistent. They don't. It's subjective to them. They're the ones that decide whether they give a call a foul or not call a foul. It's down to the refs. They can give advantage when they want to give advantage. They can call it back when they want to call it back.
That's true.
Say, it comes down to the referee on the day. That's
but they need to be
job.
consistent.
What we need is the referees to come after the game, or like a Sunday panel or a Monday panel, whatever, of each of the referees, especially for the controversial, let's say, decisions like this, as an example.
But this is not controversial, Souls. I'm not. You know what I'm talking about. This is the referee decided that he kicked the ball. Oh, he got second yellow.
I'm not saying the referee made a mistake. I'm just saying like there's a lot of noise about a decision, right? I'm talking that kind of perspective. Like we're discussing this in depth, for example, right? Those kind of decisions, they come out on, and make a statement, and just so that people can understand the thought process. Maybe it's an education thing for the fans so that we can learn how these rules are being interpreted. I'm not saying that referee made a mistake or they need to clarify why that mistake was made. It's just more clarified how that decision was made.
So the only thing
are we meant to be hearing them anymore? Sorry, just before you go, bro. Are we not meant to be hearing these referees now? Like I thought we were meant to be hearing them.
No. That was
no. That's what that is in here.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say though is that if we start getting to the roots of referees explaining themselves, it causes a problem of then having to second guess themselves during a match, which the other thing we don't want to do then is go the other way. We're trying to get them to be so objective that they start losing. I mean, they're already doing that, to be honest, and losing the nuances. I think more what should happen is that the PGMOL, as much as they want to defend the referees, have to take the brunt of some of the mistakes and say, actually, this was a mistake.
It's not a mistake, though. That's the problem.
No, I'm talking about mistakes. Okay, I'm not talking about mistakes. I'm talking more about, for example, okay, let's take the fact that he didn't yellow card the Brighton player. Come out and say there was a decision that was made which was incorrect, where the Brighton player wasn't given a yellow card alongside Declan Rice giving a yellow card, because that way both Arsenal fans have to just sort of eat the fact that he got a yellow card and then a red card, but also they'll say there was a mistake that was seen and wasn't done by the referee. The problem is that we don't hear anything from them, so people feel like actually other teams are getting away with something that we're not able to get away with.
Yeah, Mo's on mute.
My mic is muted. Let me do the super chat because I want people to respond to this. Arteta lacked tactical acumen. City with 10 men would win.
Don't know that.
I've already said so much about how I thought the game went, so.
But City individually have a lot of better quality players who can win games. So it's a bit of a nuanced difference, in my opinion.
No, he's spitting facts, man. He's spitting facts.
Yeah.
Sticky is saying, name me a striker who suits the team. I fucking hate the word suit the team. Haaland didn't suit Man City, and they got him. Changed the whole system for him to score goals. Suit the team. And we need Havertz. Is the only outscored in 2024 by Palmer and Haaland. I'm going to stop. Listen, this is me saying here on Rivals Rumble today on August 31st. Bro, I'm going to stop this freaking Havertz thing. If people do want to hear it, bro, if people do want to hear it, and people do want to listen to other opinions on it, it's okay.
I'll tell you who.
I am telling you today.
I'm
going to tell you another thing today. If Arsenal had, and I'm giving examples tonight, today, if Arsenal had Haaland today, and if Arsenal had Osimhen today, they would not have been able to press you with 10 players and leave Kai Havertz with only one player. Yes, he took him to school a couple of times, but the approach of the game from the opposition is different when you have a player. Let me give you another example. If you have a Nico Williams on the left today at the end of the game, you have one, guys, they won't be able to leave one-on-one with Nico Williams because they would know that they will get cooked all the time. That is the argument, people. It is not the average shit. The argument is they leave one-on-one, so that allow them to have the extra man. That is the argument.
I'll tell you who we needed. Adama Traore. Just pace and power. Just no control, just pace and power. Chaos football. That's what we needed.
But we're in the same situation. We wouldn't score because we just took it over the bar.
You know me. I love my howlers.
I
love my howlers. You know me.
You need Sterling today. You need Sterling today, guys.
I'm just
Hey, listen, Raheem would have sold us a dream today. I'll tell you now.
Did the super chatter mean like the calendar year 2024?
Yeah, calendar year.
Actually,
No
no one had more GA than him.
Half last season, half this season.
Listen, not Mr.
Organization.
Not Mr. In the past 10 years, Tottenham finished above Arsenal. When I've asked you, over the past 31
that's not
years,
half a season to fit my agenda. That's literally the last 10 years.
You didn't pick half the time the Premier League has been going. So
we're talking about the last decade, recent history.
Okay, past 2 years.
I think he's saying since Havertz was consistently playing at striker, he's shown progress that he is one of the best strikers in the league.
I just think with Havertz, bro, I don't know, man. When it's the hard chances, at least if you guys have seen it before, you can get in. But when it's the easy one, bro, it's the easy one. The one just to get you the 2-1. I don't know what's going on, bro.
He's the one who creates that chance for himself, though, which is
he does. It was hard.
He's at the start of the moves and he comes to the end of the moves. The problem I have with this team is that left wing. That left wing is horrible, regardless of who plays. Trossard, Howler, unless he's an impact. So Martinelli, God knows what the hell has happened to him. I don't know what we're doing. Do we just exclude him from training? Have we just not told the fan base that we've just banished him and he just chills at home or something? Because God knows what he's made zero progress for about 3 seasons. Don't get it twisted. When he had that season where he scored 10 GA or whatever it was, brilliant. But that's because we told him to go centre. And I've always said this, Martinelli is going to become a mid-table player unless we move him to a striker position. This guy is not a winger. He'll never be a winger.
Unlocking Martinelli season 3 today. So
I was going to say, I disagree with that. I think Martinelli is a play the shoulder of the last man more than trying to get involved in play. I think right now he plays front of a striker. But even as a winger, like Sterling used to play off the shoulder. Like Sterling's best performance.
But even Sterling going one-on-one, he can do a lot.
I know. But his best performance at Man City though was when actually he wasn't involved on the ball. It was when he was arriving late. I think too much of the time we try to play the ball from Martinelli, and his control and his ability to run with the ball, as quick as he isn't that great. He needs to be running onto the ball rather than with the ball.
Hold on.
Jav, just to counter your point, I'm not saying Martinelli isn't that guy all of a sudden. All I'm saying is I've not seen the development in him.
That's true.
He's still true. He's still a player. But
another season of unlocking Martinelli.
I wanna go back. Forget Martinelli. Do you guys think that at the end your starting forward will be Sterling, Havertz, and Bukayo Saka?
I hope so. I really hope so.
Wowza.
Listen, I am not.
That left wing is gonna cause you nightmares.
No. Raheem has a dream. I am telling you, Martin Luther King Satan's fam. He is gonna set us free. He is winning us that title.
You only had to hide because of that.
Raheem will be selling us the dream. I'm telling you, he will accomplish that dream for us. Now, the problem is, right? Think about it. Okay, I'm Arteta, right? Call me Arteta for a minute. Edu has given me Raheem Sterling. What the hell do you want me to do?
Bro,
I've got
Trossard,
who's an impact player. I've got Martinelli, who's become an impact player. And I've unfortunately now got Raheem Sterling as well. What do you want?
Listen,
I want Nico Williams. I want Cavaradonna. I want these players. My man gave me Raheem Sterling. So I've got to make do with what I have.
With Sterling, listen, you said accomplished. All I think he's going to accomplish here is missing open nets in it. That guy's done. Yeah, that's.
Have you watched? You know
what it is? I have watched. Yeah, I have watched.
So disrespectful.
I have to be disrespectful because he was at my club last year. He was missing open.
Watch at the Stamford Bridge, brother.
You know what it is? Hold on.
Sterling,
he can't play the bridge.
Even
He
Yeah,
can't even play the
but
break.
also-
Wait.
what is the Sanchez
Even
you're
at
gonna
Man
be
City,
seeing?
yeah, even at Man City when he was at his best, yeah, statistically, yeah, that guy was still missing. The only reason why he got away with it at Man City, because he was getting constant chances in that team. That's the only reason why. With Chelsea and Arsenal, yeah, they don't create the same amount of chances like a Man City, innit? So he's more likely to miss. He needs like 5 chances to bag 1. So that guy is not reliable. He's
more of a chance creator than a chance finisher. Like
Listen,
he's
the
not
minute he
like-
runs like this, by the way, you know it's
At
over.
Man City, he was actually, I think, a scorer.
he would get on the end of Amara's cross, but like
Yeah, but he had KDB in it, back post tap-ins, like he'll cross and he'll come in. Who's he gonna do this in this team, bro? Like
Sterling's going to be hungry. I think
Okay, right.
you're worrying about the wrong player. I think he's actually going to be pretty good for us. And Chelsea's paying for him, so thanks.
We're paying half the money. I'm happy to pay half the money for you, bro.
all I'm going to say is
I'm happy with that. Do you know what the funny thing is? People are saying, "Is this a dream or a nightmare?" Yes, it's a nightmare for the opposition. It's not a nightmare for me.
Oh
fam.
my
I'm
God.
living.
Hold on,
Me
hold
2
on.
seasons ago,
I
man.
am
This is
living.
me 2 seasons ago, bro. When you came to our club.
Nah, but hold on.
This is
If we're being
you
honest,
You guys
bro,
know if I didn't know Souls for way longer than you all, I would think he's being serious. By the way,
no, but he's definitely being sarcastic in it and trolling.
We know he's being sarcastic, but
Yeah.
we're going along with it. We're going along with it.
But
But like,
Sterling,
can I
genuinely-
ask the
he's
Arsenal
a-
fans a question?
he's not
Ask the
a
Arsenal
ball.
fans a
to
question.
be honest with you guys, I actually me and Martin speak off camera a lot, and he told me one thing that, what do you want me to do? He literally said, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to
About
just sit and just
Wait,
say
what-
that it's not gonna work and just throw the towel?
Of course, he
There's
can't do
nothing-
that. Yeah.
I
hear
get
you.
Souls' point. Yeah, they gave us Sterling. Should we just start like ranting now in game
No,
week?
no, no,
three?
no,
No, but right, it's
I
not-
get
that's
it.
not about
Sterling.
There's a
Yes.
clear
Today-
there.
Be honest with your opinion. If that's how you feel, be honest with it. I did the
You know what I
exact
say?
same thing.
You know, didn't
Yeah,
we
but
signed
Martin,
Emerson
yes,
Royale.
hold on. On deadline day, me and Martin did a stream and he said, this is an underwhelming thing. I wanted a better forward. So he
Bro,
was
this
honest.
is a Jamaican
And
on
then
vengeance.
2
fam.
hours later, 24 hours later, I did a stream with Martin. He already moved on. It's like,
Yo, this
You know
brother,
what- did you
this
know what it
brother
is,
from
guys?
Jamaica, yeah, with the back, yeah, is on vengeance. Do you know how
Hey,
you
yo,
don't
man,
mess
chill,
with
chill.
man that are angry like that, fam? I'm
No,
telling
but
you.
you know what it is. With
You know-
Arsenal,
you know what I would say, you
This
know-
guy
think
is
about
gonna.
it,
Your Stamford
actually a
Bridge
very
is gonna
good
be
fit for what we
nightmare
need.
settings. I'm telling you, he's gonna when he plays, especially Chelsea. I think Chelsea's gonna tear them.
I
a
don't
new
think he's
one.
going to play
Just
against
for the
us because he's on loan,
disrespect.
bro. If he's on loan, that means
he's
he
on
probably
loan.
sits bad,
Yeah,
bro.
he's
he's not playing against
No,
you.
no, no.
he's
Wait for it
fine.
because you wanted to exile him. You wanted to exile
Listen,
him.
mate, I don't need. Listen, I don't need.
If
I don't
he's so
listen.
shit, you
I don't want
got-
him to see
you
us
know-
Stamford Bridge.
Yeah,
I
but you know what it
don't
is?
want to see us Stamford Bridge, bro.
You
Nah.
I don't
got
want to see us
El
Stamford Bridge.
Sapama, fam.
Ah.
Yeah,
Can we do
play
a bet?
Sterling. Why do we care? Play him in it.
Can we
You
do a
got
bet?
know-
I bet that,
defenders, bring
that
the
Sterling
defenders
gets
on.
more GA than Sancho and Ahmed Diallo.
Oh,
I think
no,
I
no.
would agree with that, to be honest. I would say
That's
yes.
that's a good bet. That is a very good bet, actually.
Not more than Ahmed Diallo. Better than Sancho, yeah, but not Diallo.
No, you know
That's a
what?
good bet.
Sancho's
And
going
Will,
to
you
play
can pick
Carabao
one from
Cup.
Spurs.
Sancho's probably going to play Conference
Don't
League,
say
so I would
some.
actually say Conference League in it. So he's going to
Not
get more
some.
GNA.
Don't
Yeah,
say so.
Sancho's going to get more.
So-
Sancho's going to get more GNA.
Sancho's gonna get more G than Sterling. Sterling's not that
Yeah.
guy.
All
He's
I'm-
that
all
Conference League, man. He's in Conference League, innit?
all I'm
Sancho's
gonna
in
say.
Conference League.
Disrespectful. You man are so.
All
Dust.
comps.
Okay,
Wait,
okay.
Nah,
You know
but this
the
window, yeah, from
same
Arsenal.
shit you were saying to me about Kai Havertz. What happened? My clients proved you wrong.
So
I
okay,
officially
okay.
to this day, JUDGEMO exclusive. Here we
Oh, you
go.
listen,
I
yes,
signed Raheem Sterling as a client. Watch this turnaround. Same way with
Okay.
Kai Havertz. Yeah, now look at him, fam.
Okay,
You know
so
what I was
look
saying?
at
You
it
know,
realistically,
I'm
we
going
had
to
an
say
issue that needed to be
one
solved.
at a time, Martin.
We had a
one at
problem. We
time.
needed Saka backup, and there wasn't really a lot of good good wingers that want to be Saka's backup. But Sterling happened to be that. He happened to get out of that Chelsea gulag, and he's actually not a level drop, a huge level drop from what Saka is. So, and he can also start over Martinelli and Trossard potentially on the left hand side. So
Is he better than
for
Mason?
100K a week, it's a no fee. It's an absolute no brainer.
so.
You know what I would
all I'm
say?
gonna
It's not exciting.
Wait,
but it's
wait,
a
let me
no-brainer.
just say something. Let me just say, listen, all I'm going to say is let's not. Sterling's not a hill to die on because I have listen for a long time. I've been one of his biggest critics. I just think that he misses way too many chances than he should. Sometimes he makes bone-headed decisions.
But you
Like
said that about Havertz.
he'll do things where you go for a player who is meant to be mature. What the hell are you doing?
He plays
Right?
he plays like an
However-
18, bro. He's 30.
I just make fun of him
however-
because he runs like a velociraptor.
however, we'll bring. Listen, however, there's something about the hallowed turf of Emirates that's going to get the best out of him, right?
Oh,
This is my copium right now.
Emirates
And I'm
man,
telling you,
Emirates
listen to me. This is my copium, right? And you have to allow me some shame. Okay, so the hallowed turf of Emirates is going to transform him from being a Velociraptor to a T-Rex. Okay,
I see it.
Same thing. Both have small front arms.
doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, Guinosaurus in it, Guinosaurus in it, man. Hey, match made to happen.
Yeah, he's
But I think
Yeah, but
Velociraptor-
this just shows though, like this Sterling signing actually shows that they're not serious in it though. When it comes to no, but it's true though. It's true because when it comes to closing down the gap here, whenever it's time to actually have a good window, you guys always have like it's always underwhelming. Like
Mikel Moreno is a level raiser, Calafiori is a level raiser, and Raheem Sterling is a level raiser.
I mean, is it though? Is it?
It is. It is
really, though?
categorically,
Speaking of
factually,
underwhelming.
objectively,
Yeah,
statistically,
bro.
whatever the word you want to use,
Tight,
it is
tight.
a level raiser.
What's the level raiser? What's the level raiser?
He's
Competing
got good
again.
flicks. He's got good flicks. He's
No.
got very
You
good
know what I
flicks
would
and
say?
tricks.
You
Oh
know
no,
what,
but
Ahmed,
what's
quickly.
tell me
Ahmed,
tell me what each signing here. Tell me what they all excel at. That's going to boost your team.
You know what I
Okay,
would
so
say?
Mikel Moreno is a good duelist and also someone who can play out of pressure. Calafiori, similar situation. He's a good player on the ball who can actually defend, unlike a Zinchenko, right? And then when you look at Raheem Sterling, he's actually a winger, unlike the two wingers we currently have on the left-hand side, who are actually strikers inside forwards. So it gives us a different dynamic altogether.
You know
So
what I would
just
say?
steady Eddie signings then, just decent in it, nothing special.
Ahmed,
I
Ahmed,
think
like
Calafiori,
you
you know what I would
We're
say? You
only-
know what I would say?
You're acting as if like Arsenal were miles apart, like as if we got 70
Mm.
points and City got 90 to 100 points. We were 2 points off, 5 goals off them in the league. Like what are we really talking about here? We're talking about fine margins here. And how we close up. Calafiori does not make the same mistakes Zinchenko does against Fulham in the first 30 seconds of a game. Right now, we've got Jurriën Timbers who doesn't do that either. Right, and then you've got Mikel Moreno who actually adds a bit more physicality and probably consistency to our midfield rather than Kai Havertz, Rice, Jorginho, and then getting someone from the crowds to play in the left-hand side because we don't know who we want to play. And then we've got consistency now with Raheem Sterling and a backup for Bukayo Saka and someone who can play down the middle who's got bags of experience.
He's
been a winner.
Can we
And
do
that's
time out
the
quickly?
reality.
Please, I need to actually
Go
make
on.
a point quickly. Yeah,
Consistency with Raheem Sterling.
I had Sterling and consistency, and I had to tap in quickly because I was like, come on, boys, like let's be realistic. Yeah,
Future
he's not
consistent.
consistent. You know what I mean? He's not consistent. Yeah, but what I
But
will
yes.
say, he will give you 15 GNA. I'll actually tell you that he'll give you 15 GNA probably in the league, something like that. But if we're being honest, yeah, Sterling was a panic buy, guys. Like this is something. Listen, you came in for that guy at 6
Both can be
p.m.
true.
No. But so I just want to. I also think it's fair to say you really
He never
you
gave
guys weren't.
Chelsea 15 GNA in the league.
I
He
just
did. I
don't
think he gave it to us
understand why.
last season, no? I thought
No.
he gave it to us. That's why.
8 and
I
4 is
can't remember.
12, man.
No. I thought it was. I thought it
In
was
all
15
comps,
games.
I think it was like 20 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I
18.
think
So you
maybe.
guys are happy, innit? You guys are happy with like the
Well,
win.
like, the point I was trying to make.
Should I be sad?
No, because you can't just accept it, bro. You're Arsenal, bro. You're supposed to be the biggest club in London, innit? Like you have to, bro. You've not won a title.
Again, like
It's
But
not about
Sterling's a
accepting
big-
it, but at
big
the end of
time
the day,
player.
he's a good player. What do you want me to do? Sit here and say he's
I think
shit?
Ahmed's asking the question. I think Ahmed's question is, yeah, listen, this year was meant to be the year, we're meant to be seeing, in the Emirates, the title being, picked
I
up.
know where it's
like,
happening. 10
you
points.
know what I
10
mean?
points.
He's saying
10
you have not got the
points.
final duel in the, you know what I mean?
By
You know,
10
let's
points.
see, the
I'll
final duel.
adjust for referees, mate.
But wait, guys, can I just very quickly before we go to the next spot, can I just say one thing? And Martin, I admit defeat. Raya is a fantastic goalkeeper. I've got to say
boy.
this.
Midget.
The calmness that guy brings.
Why have we moved? No, Olo.
No,
We're not moving to
I-
David Raya. I am
listen-
sorry.
listen to
I'm
me.
not moving to
Listen
David
to me.
Bro's
Raya.
not here for
No,
compliment.
I'm not moving to David Raya. Olu,
No,
this
no,
is
listen to me.
Olu. I am
Just a
not
second.
moving to David
Let
Raya.
him admit he was wrong.
1 second. I just admit I was wrong on stream because I've been saying this guy's a 5'10" goalkeeper who can't do nothing basically. And to see him being able to pluck the ball out of the air and relieve pressure, I have to come in here and just admit defeat. I'll finally say it. David Wright is a good goalkeeper, and
Okay,
I had
I
him
want to
legend.
go back. I want to go back to the Arsenal thing and Sterling.
Yeah.
I shat on Liverpool fans when they signed Chiesa, when all of them are not happy with Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz, because you guys, Arsenal, are assessing Sterling in isolation.
Yep.
In isolation, Yeah, 100K. Chelsea paying 200K for him. You're paying no money. Doesn't work. Send him back. You lost nothing, right? For a whole season, you lost nothing. But at the end, I am assessing what you needed versus what you got. That's how always I assess signings, by the way. That's how, for example, I'm just going to give you an example. If Arsenal needed a center back and you went on and got someone that is very cheap and low risk, but that's not what you needed. I didn't think that Arsenal needed a Sterling at this point. You need someone way more consistent, way more clinical. In my opinion, I hear what Souls is like.
I
Pedro
think the
Neto.
issue in the winger market was that there wasn't really great value for money out there. And if you get someone who's a right winger or a left winger,
Neto
really covering
plays
that
on both
aside.
sides. Neto plays
Hold on. What do you mean? Okay, so
Neto.
Martin, I disagree with value for money. The reason why I don't support Arsenal, I'm not in the financial situation of Arsenal, right? I am not. All
No,
I'm
but even just
assessing is
results,
the
not just money, like results. Like there's not a lot of wingers out there that are getting results that are better than what we have.
There's not many wingers.
You
like,
don't think
what?
there are? You don't think
What?
that, for example, Mitoma is better than Martinelli and Trossard on the left as a starter? For example,
Mitoma has been
no.
off the radar for like a whole season, and
So
It's not clinical though, isn't it? So it's the same question of it. He's not clinical.
It's not like a guaranteed win, right?
Yeah, but it's more probability. Here's my point.
You think Mitoma's a better bet?
Nobody's guaranteed probability. Like Matthias Nunes was fantastic at Wolves. Went to Manchester City, couldn't do it. Calvin Phillips was rated higher than Declan Rice. Leeds time under Bielsa. Went to Manchester City and looked like a horrific signing. There are no guarantees, but you gotta do your due diligence. What I mean is, what is playing? You gotta do your due diligence by lowering the risk. If you bought Mitoma and it doesn't work, I'm gonna say yes, he flopped. But you're always in all signings, you lower the risk, and then you see how it works. For me, Raheem Sterling at Chelsea was very underwhelming to the point that I think, and I said that yesterday, I think he cost Chelsea more than he benefited them. People said he got some goals. There are games that Chelsea could have won, but they didn't win because of this guy single-handedly. For him being on the team, right? He is so underwhelming at Chelsea that I am looking at this. This is another Havertz situation where you are hoping that Mikel Arteta will be able to get the Sterling from 4 years ago. Because the last season at Manchester City, I remember Raheem Sterling was benched and he was not happy. And Pep Guardiola was willingly letting him go for 50 million. If he was that type of a player from Manchester City, even like Julian Alvarez left for 90 million. Raheem Sterling left at 26 years old, peak, for 50 million pounds, right, from Manchester City. And Pep didn't want him. That is the thing. Maybe he was good before. It's a risk, guys. It might work, it might not work. What is the higher probability? I'm
Can
going to
I
ask everyone in
answer
the
that?
chat.
Like, I think he's actually less risk because Arteta's already worked with him before, and he's a multi-Premier League winner, and he knows what it takes to like be at the level of Man City. And
You said the same
where we
thing
need
about
to be.
Willian. You said
What's
the same
that?
thing about Willian when you got him from Chelsea. It's the same thing with Willian.
No. Willian, look,
And
I have
Willian
been
works with Arteta?
Sterling for a long time. I think his run is hilarious, whatever. Like, you know, it's funny to laugh at him. But when you take it all away and you stop bantering, he's actually one of the best options for us on the market. Now, we probably can't own him, and it'll just be loaned for a year. But he's already connected with the manager. It's the manager's call basically to say, I want to work with this guy again. I think I can get something out of him. And he's not washed up. He's not even over 30. Like there's still a player.
But you know what I would say to you, Martin, though? You know, all of us here know Sterling started his career when I think it was 18 or 19 or 17, stuff like that, when he was at Liverpool. For some people, because they've had that long of a career, they do kind of like, you know, short fuse towards out the end of their career. Now, what I will say about Sterling is there's been games, I'll tell you right now, Wolves, Newcastle, what I've watched this guy, just miss the open net, or just not even just pass the ball to a Cole Palmer or Jackson to just do a tap in. You know what I mean? And that is the worry for me, because there's going to be times, maybe if you're an Arsenal fan, where you're thinking, come on, Stan, let's do this, and then you just know deep down he's just going to make the wrong decision. And like at times,
do you think though that part of that reason is, and again, I've already said my thoughts on Sterling, but do you think that part of that reason is because Chelsea played freestyle football more so than what Man City and Arsenal would do? think
Yes, last season, yes. I
was
think to an
freestyle
extent, last season I would agree with you in the sense that obviously Poch made our attackers just basically be free and do whatever they needed to do to win the attack,
No,
right?
no, does
So
anybody think this can be true?
yeah,
That
he did. If
Sterling
he
will
did
be
it at
man of the match
Chelsea,
against City?
if he did it at Chelsea, he could do it at Man City. For
Look,
Arsenal
man,
too.
I'm telling you, this brother is on vengeance. Do you know, man? Not know when a
Vengeance
man's
hype,
on.
man.
Oh, it's
Vengeance
different. It's different.
Sorry, man. Sancho's on the venture side, don't worry, man. When the Stratford ends,
Man,
gonna
I'm
be-
telling you, this
He's
guy's
still
like
proving Maresca wrong.
You lot are only saying this here because you don't want to criticize Arteta signing, bro. That's what it is, bro. You lot
Oh, no,
just
No, we did that
I'm
already.
pretty sure these guys are not happy, but I feel like they've already said they're not happy.
Ahmed, I swear to God, yeah, we say one thing, you hear something totally different and come
no,
out
but
with something out of
you're
your
just
mouth.
glazing over it. You're glazing over it.
No,
Like,
that's
oh,
what, no, that's what
there's a
you
player there.
You know
There's
what?
That's
too
what
much.
all I could just call him out, dude. I literally went to before
There's too much opium in this.
before Emerson and Brian Hill even put pen to paper. I ranted on stream for 2 hours against Spurs fans, telling you how
Yeah, but
shit
that's shit.
both of them were.
But there's a difference.
Yeah, Sterling's not great.
Sterling is great.
Why is he great?
There's a
Yeah, he's-
difference of opinion. Just
Okay,
because
okay,
you
come
think
on.
a player's bad doesn't mean I have to think a player's bad. My evaluation of a player and the system that we need and the profile that we need, he fits it, and it's a low risk. Why he's a loan for a season? We can get him up till January. Why not? Is he better than Reece Nelson coming off the bench or starting if there's an injury? Yes. Is he better than Eddie Nketiah? Yes. So what's the problem here?
So just because they're better than those type of players that you got rid of, bro, that's not a reason to get him yet. You should be aiming.
But that's what we had to do. We had to fill our left 8 position. We have to get our Xhaka back, basically, which is Marino. We have to get better. Look, I love Reece Nelson, those boys, but they're not at the level. You can't bring them on and trust them in a big game, which Sterling has been. They've done that, and you can't ignore
That's
that he's
true.
actually
I
been very
definitely
good for
agree.
England.
If you want to say
Regardless
has
of
the
his
window
club
been
form, he's been very
maximized,
good
that's
for
a
England.
different question you're asking, really.
Yeah,
Now, if we talk about it, has the window been maximized and has Edu done his job? I've said this before. Edu's got to go, and I've been saying it for 3 seasons. This guy's a donkey. He's an absolute fool, and he's
But you
never
can't say
going to
that with
be
the team
able
that we
to
built.
take us. He's not. This is it now. He's built what he can build. We now need to go get a Don, right? Someone who doesn't care. Oh, I want to build relationships.
No.
Piss off. I don't care. Go get that player. Be disrespectful. I don't care if it needs disrespect. It needs disrespect.
So I listen. The only thing I'll say is this: we tried doing that thing of trying to get a super agent. Remember Raul Selheni, right? And Don Raul, and all he did,
don't get a corrupt person. I'm saying go get a Don.
No, I'm just saying all he did was cozy up to Jai Carabria and whoever it is and sign all the players that he was managing, and that is the issue. Sometimes listen.
I didn't say
there is no. I know, but who? Then who
George
else would
Mendes,
you
man.
say? Jorge Mendes. No, I'm just saying. I do agree with you, and I think you made a very good point I never thought about, which was what Sterling is in comparison to the players that he is replacing is better. Now, is he good enough? In my opinion, no. I don't think I've never rated Sterling that much, to be honest. So I'm not going to turn him on. As banter, I'll rate him. In reality, I don't really rate him as highly as people have rated him. However, you are right. In comparison to Nketiah, in comparison to Reece Nelson, players that we'd have had to throw on, he is better than that. It's not going to be enough to close the gap to Man City. I don't know. That's more down to tactics and how Arteta manages games more than just individual players. But yes, it would have been better to get a player who had the sort of individual brilliance that could turn a game like this today into 3 points, right? From 1 point to 3 points. That is what we're missing, basically. And yes, what should have happened? And everyone says Nico Williams. To be honest, we've only seen Nico Williams play one season. I knew Inaki Williams. I didn't know who the hell Nico Williams was, right? So I think people jumped. I don't watch that much Spanish football. I've got kids now. It's impossible to watch that much football. But what I'm saying though is that I think people jumped on a Nico Williams hype, right? Which is rightfully so, like in terms of what he did in Euros. But we don't know if that's going to be sustained into this season. But yeah, that's just my.
I swear I'm not laughing. I swear I'm not laughing at you.
You are laughing at me. How dare you?
Why do I have 2 Ahmeds on the stream, bro? I'm just laughing at one comment, and I just want to respond to the comment, to be honest, before I do the super chats, because there's a lot of them to do. Ziad, does your budget not stretch to get a better Man United rep? I don't think there's a better Man United rep than Ahmed. That is my response to this. Because you don't like his takes, you just think that there's a better Man United out there. I don't think there is anyone, because Sometimes he's deluded. When he said Ahmed Diallo is better than Saka, I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
No. The best one was Kobe Manu on Rice, bro. That was the first time you ever said Derma on the stream. Oh my
But
god.
it's a great rep, to be honest with you guys. Let me do these super chats because a lot of them, and we need to respond to all of them, to be honest. We did that, sticking him the striker. Okay. Pep, Haaland solved the Rodri issue. Getting scary how good City now are adapting, looking rejuvenated and hungry. Rivals said KDB has lost his leg, is mad. You're muted.
Love it when they're muted and you can't hear the
Yeah.
banter.
That was
I mean,
you should have
Bruce-
heard was no. I wasn't no
Bruce
banter. I was
cracking
saying
up, man. I was cracking up.
we do this every season. Like I said, we start off. Man City always start the season really well. They drop off. Everyone will question them and they'll do something at the end of the season. I'm literally. You could take this and next season to be the same thing and the same season after that. Let's just see how the season goes. Let's not just all shoot a lot too early.
But I have to admit that Man City look different this season. They're more direct.
Yeah.
They look
They
more
look better than they
direct.
did last season.
They
They're
look
paranoid.
scary, bro.
They look
scary.
better at the beginning of this season than they did at the end of last season.
Bro, they
I will say
I-
West Ham could have drawn that game in the second half. They were kind of
By
under
the
the
way,
pump for a bit.
but Man City could have been 4, Martin, right before
They could have, but I napped most of that game. Woke up at the 50th minute, and it was West Ham for 20 minutes that were trying to score.
Yeah. But big up Eddie. I think you're right. Kingsley here is calling Arsenal fans. These Arsenal fans are funny. From insults to Raheem Sterling to praise. Olu literally admitted he doesn't like Raheem Sterling.
If you go look at my Twitter, I've actually said I wanted Raheem Sterling and Rashford for about 3-4 seasons. So
on
gonna
Rashford
see
as well,
the-
bro. Yo,
I won't
You're
give
gonna
me
see the Chelsea
Rashford.
fans doing the same thing.
I'll say it, I'll say it.
Oh,
bro. This is
oh.
crazy. This can't be sarcasm, bro. No.
Go look at my Twitter. Go look at my Twitter. I'm dead serious. From 2020, you can find tweets I've said I want Sterling and Rashford.
Hey,
Rose
Ahmed,
frozen.
bro. He wants
He broke
he wants Rashid, bro. You need to get him to Arsenal, bro.
Ahmed, how do you feel
In
about losing Sancho
2020, Sterling
for
was good.
25 mil?
Oh, he's gutted, man. He's been texting me about losing Sancho, bro. He's
Talk to me
heartbroken.
about Sancho for 25 mil.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk.
Oh, come on
See,
now.
Actually, we're going to talk about it in a bit. Sterling is the perfect signing to get to January. But Sticky, you didn't need to get to January. You left it too late in the window. You're justifying it. That is the point.
They're not even
You
gonna
had
sign anyone in
2
January.
months. You had 2 months in the summer window. You chased Sesko. And Sesko didn't work before the Euros. And you Moreno, too long. Why did you leave it late? Hopefully, bro, if Arsenal drop points against Spurs and lose against City, I think it's
Why
over.
is Mike not?
No,
You know what it is. You know what it is. Yeah, listen, they don't even sign people usually in January. Like they rarely sign someone in January. So like, listen, man, it's not gonna happen. Like I don't know why people keep believing January we gotta get like another great signing.
I
It's
can't
not gonna
remember Jorginho. I
Exactly,
think
bro.
was the last player.
No,
they
Jor-
signed
yeah,
in
that's-
January.
Let me respond. Let's do this. Maximius is saying instead of getting no one, got Sterling. Chelsea paying more than half his fees, so they are paying a player for Arsenal over the line against City. In isolation, you're 100% correct. In isolation, you're correct.
It's copious.
But you should have gotten someone else. So in isolation, you're very right here. You're 100% correct, my friend.
Adama
Next
Traore.
Games is saying, I can't lie, Mo, as a Liverpool fan, I disagreed with your Chiesa point until I saw Arsenal fans after the Sterling deal. Now I see your point 100%, to be fair. I win. Bro, even
Sure.
HUSAM, after the Chiesa deal, he's like, this is a disgrace. We got no legs, Chiesa.
Wait,
Instead of
I
getting
hope-
someone decent.
Wait, when he says Arsenal fans, which ones are you talking to? I hope he's like I hope
You,
he's not
he's
just
talking about you.
Mm,
He's talking
talking
about
Talking
you.
about you,
Striker,
man.
he has
You
legs.
poor
Talking about
he
you.
just doesn't
You,
have meat.
Olu. He's talking about you, Olu.
what did I what have I done? What have I done?
You
Ollie, man.
and Souls
Why
praising
me?
the Raheem Sterling signing.
Hey,
what?
listen, Raheem, I have a dream. That's what it is.
Raheem,
La ilaha illallah, la
listen,
ilaha
Raheem the
illallah.
dreamer who gives nightmares, man.
Viva
Raheem
la
the dreamer
raza.
who gives
Yeah,
nightmares.
to you guys, it's a nightmare for you guys.
Listen, man, don't worry, man.
Yeah,
Listen.
the theater of dreams
Hey.
is
Okay,
now the
Ahmed,
Emirates, man.
come back, Ahmed, because there's a super chat for you, Ahmed. Ahmed,
Viva la
there's a super chat for
raza.
you. Ahmed, Sticky is saying, thank you, Sticky, for the super chat. Sterling or Anthony, 100 million signing or 100K loan?
Oh my.
Sterling or Anthony? That's like
Don't
saying,
think too hard. Don't think too hard.
Pretty easy.
That's pretty
It's an
easy.
easy answer, bro.
To be
It's
honest,
an easy
it is
answer,
very easy.
dude.
It's a very easy, bro. Sterling
be
gonna
deluded,
free on
dude.
100K, bro. Don't bet to that level, Ahmed. There is levels to this game, bro.
Don't go there. Don't go to
Sterling
the dark
gonna
side.
free. Ahmed, they have to say you have to.
And
Yeah,
see
obviously,
them now,
I'll
right?
go for-
You
I'll
were meant
go
to
for
unite us, not kill us.
Obviously, I'll go for Sterling, but it's
All
not
right.
really-
Yes, 100%. Just Ahmed, just because he's better than those players you got rid of that is not a reason to get him. Ahmed is literally trolling, bro. I
Who's
don't think Ahmed
trolling?
was trolling.
You.
I think he's
bro.
talking about you trolling.
Why do people think I'm trolling? Like, I don't understand. Like,
Sterling
Yeah,
is the United's best
Ahmed's
winger.
got ops, man. Ahmed's got.
I've got
Imagine-
too much enemies, bro.
Do you,
I'm just
wait,
saying-
Ahmed, do you understand the concept of what getting better is? It means your weakest thing, you're better than that, basically, right? So in this instance, our weakest point, Eddie Nketiah, getting Sterling is better than that. Now you can argue, is that better than Man City? No, but he is better than what we had previously.
So what you're saying is Tottenham had a good window then.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you win
for-
the transfer
for-
window again.
Well, listen, for having Daniel Levy as an owner, you had a really good win. Right?
No.
You lot
No.
settled for Sterling.
Are you happy with yours, Will?
No.
I know. I'm just trolling. I'm trolling Will. I know what you're
No
trying
one's
to catch
happy
me
with
out
the
there.
transfer
I mean,
window.
they
Everyone's like,
are better than the players that left, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Could be.
far. Well, no, I mean, look, the Odebar is way better than Brian Hill was on the left wing. I mean, levels better.
100%.
Levels better,
100%.
right?
So,
So, you've got Gray. He's young. Is he really better than Højbjerg? I don't know. Only time will tell. I
Solanke
can't
is
remember his
definitely
name.
better than Richarlison.
Solanke's
Yes.
definitely better than Richarlison. And then I think that the Swedish guy is better than Lo Celso.
okay.
Lo Celso has a horrific time.
Yeah. So other than maybe Gray Højbjerg, because
Can I-
Højbjerg was older,
Yeah.
more experienced, more steady Eddie type of a player.
Oh, Rasmus 9. Is this natural?
That's the
lineage?
only
I-
one that I
hold
don't
on.
know is better.
Yeah. Guys, we got over 800 people and we aren't even on 300 likes, guys. The
Bergvall.
last time, please hit that like button. Mods, push the likes because there is not enough likes on this stream. How do Man City lose the league? Can someone really explain that to me?
They get
They get
relegated.
charged. They get charged, man. They need to get this charges.
They get fined. the
Pep leaves the club, man. Pep leaves the club, man. You know what I mean? Maybe.
gavel comes down and they're guilty. That's it.
Basically, what happens is this, right? There's a B sample I've sent over to the drug testing that has all the Man City players' names in it. They test it. They realize it's full of steroids. Disqualify them. We win
Can
the
we
league.
keep it to the
Do
football?
they all have
guys?
asthma like Liverpool players?
Can
or
we
what?
be
All
for
asthma
real?
pumps.
Can we be for real, guys? Can we be for real? Can Man City lose this league?
Yes.
What is the possibility of them?
They,
How?
they are human beings, and no team is perfect. And eventually,
You're coping
Bro-
again, by the way.
listen,
You're
I know,
coping, you're coping again, bro. What is it with these Arsenal fans? Just say it how it is, man. What's going on with these lot? Just say
wait.
it.
What
So
did
wait,
you
are you
just not
saying-
like how we have to say it how it is? What if this is just how it is?
Are you saying that? Are you saying basically that Man City can never be beaten?
Bro, City, yeah, are going to
They
win.
can be
this.
beaten. We beat them all the time.
I've accepted that. This
But-
is a farm. I've accepted
Before
it.
Postecoglou.
And this
Fair
is a
enough.
farm.
Can they be beaten in the league?
Listen. The only thing that's, bro, unless you kidnap Pep,
All
yeah,
right now.
then that's not going to happen in it. So, like I said, these guys are too inevitable. They've got too much quality in the team. Their manager is too good, yeah. And I don't see anyone challenging. I mean, Arsenal might challenge, but it won't be enough. So,
But would you say again? The reason why I say this, okay, and being serious is last season and even the season before, everyone says Arsenal bottled it, right? More so than Man City won it, right? So 2 seasons ago, Arsenal bottled it, not Man City won it, because you can't be both ways. Either Arsenal bottled the league in terms of they were winning it and they should have won it, and therefore they threw it away, or Man City just won it and it was never for that to happen. Last season, Arsenal lost a game against Aston Villa that they shouldn't have lost the game, and in theory, if they continue to win the rest of the games, they'd have won the league. So when you look at that objectively, and even when Liverpool lost the league by goal difference or by 1 point, they were very close. This idea that Man City are just invincible, don't get me wrong, they do win, They've won 4 in a row. They've won, was it 6 of the last 7? It has happened. But when you objectively look at the point total at the end of each season, they've actually never really ran away with it. It usually, the only time that a team ran away with it was when Liverpool won it. So this idea that they're invincible, I think that's something that we get. Let me finish my point. This idea they're invincible is things I think we tell ourselves they're invincible. But when you objectively look at how the season, yes, they do finish the season strongly. No one's going to take that away from them. But the reality is that if you look at the points total at the end of each season, teams are a lot closer to them than the way we make it out to be.
Haven't they won every game since December or something like that? Like,
yeah,
they're on like a ridiculous. I think Ole's just coping here. There's no way to stop City. I think it's
not even just not lost. They've won every game.
You know what it is, man. You know what it is, Ole? They've built up the aura now, bro. They've built up the aura. They can back it up now. Unless like half like their team literally like for some odd reason get injured, then I would honestly start thinking, yeah, there's a chance there, a real chance for you to actually win the league. But otherwise, it's just not gonna happen, boys.
Have you got any ideas, Mo? Because you asked the question. How do we stop City?
I don't know.
How are you all, man, so defeatist, man?
Tell me about it.
Of course they can lose the league.
It's not the City, it's the refs.
Of course they can. Forget the refs, man. We need to just stop with the ref excuse. That's why
they have depth in every single position, bro. Even Jack Grealish played well today, bro.
Absolutely.
Even Jack Grealish played well today, bro.
Oh, well done. They've got depth. Cool. I don't really care. We still got 4 points out of them last season.
Quality depth, bro.
Yeah, good for them. It was a couple of points that we lost the league by and 5 goals that they could score over us. And we've assured up our defense even further than what we had last season.
Yeah, I personally don't think
I think you are forgetting. Hold on. I think you're forgetting something. Kevin De Bruyne was injured for half the season, for 20 games.
More than
right?
half.
Jack Grealish had a
we beat them without Bukayo Saka. We beat them without Bukayo Saka. We had Eddie Nketiah as our striker and we beat them. Now what?
They didn't have Rodri or KDB.
You man rate Eddie Nketiah, fam. That's that striker we had and we beat them. And guess who we had on the right wing? A City reject. Oh shit, that team could have beat us. And we beat them.
Do you not think it's ironic?
Why is it this impossible idea? We could throw all the other cups away.
It's not about us versus City. It's about the other teams that City play. They'll stomp everyone in the league.
In this idea, they feel like they can't be beaten, right? So what we do is we beat them in our game, and that's
a match winner.
But that actually proves Martin's point.
Yes, literally.
No. Proves Martin's point.
They rarely beat us.
Let's just say that I'm gonna tell you something even worse. I don't think anyone in the league is even close to Arsenal in terms of the level. So you beating them doesn't prove anything. It doesn't.
No. But you guys have got this idea that no one else can beat them. So how do we win it? We go beat them.
No, Mo said, do you think... Go on.
Lose the league. I said can lose the league. It's not about you guys. City might lose a game here and there, but it's the outlier for them. When City lose a game,
people are shocked.
Why is it not an outlier for us?
I'm gonna give you an example.
They won the same game as us. We all our problem is that certain games.
Yeah, but they've got the mentality. So what they drag it out.
Ahmed. We have the mentality because the only difference, right, from last season was that instead of drawing a game, we lost the game. That's the problem. That was the only problem that we had. The win numbers were the same.
You had to draw another game.
Yeah, he's saying the difference. He's just saying the differences where we lost over them drawing. But also as well, to add to this point, and again, Mo, you're old enough to know this. I'm making it the same age as me, and so is Will, right? When Man United were dominating in the 90s, no one expected Arsenal to come out of nowhere. When we got Arsene Wenger, it was Arsene who. And for those of you too young, there was a time when Man United were the most dominant team. I mean, most of you probably remember the late 2000s, but there's a time when they were the most dominant team in England. No one expected Arsenal would finish 8th the season before to become someone who wins. And I'll take it to my other example, which I love using, Real Madrid. The time when Real Madrid were the best team in Spain, they're buying all these players, and Valencia won the league title. Nothing is set in stone. This idea that Man City are undefeatable I think, is a fallacy. Yes, they've got the highest probability to win the league, but to say, just pack it in, Man City are just going to win each time.
Look, nobody's saying they're invincible. Nobody's saying that they can't. It is impossible right? Logically impossible for them to win the league. Nobody's saying to not win the league. No one's saying that. We're just saying that the highest likelihood, if you're going to go with like an analytical position, the likelihood is that City's going to win it again based on
agree.
how they're playing right now.
But,
Right?
but
Again, if
the-
you are a better
highest
man, if
likelihood.
you are a
It's
better
not
man,
idea.
Olu,
No,
if you're a
but the
better
way
man,
that
Olu.
you guys are coming off is as if City can never lose this league.
that's the thing.
That's
That's
how
the
it's
thing.
coming off.
No,
That's
they've
how
lost.
you're-
No.
I'm never saying that. No.
That's how you-
I'm never
Always
saying
possible.
that.
Each season's anything could
And
happen.
I still
Kevin De
think you
Bruyne
have
could get injured.
I think you
Haaland
have-
could get injured. Rodri could get injured
No,
all at the same
not
time for
only.
10 weeks.
I still think Arsenal have a big chunk of a chance to win the league, to be honest. Like but it's not 50-50 like I said in the beginning of the window now with Arsenal, now with Moreno's injury, with the next two games having Spurs away without Declan Rice, Moreno's injured. I don't know if Gabriel Jesus
I
is
actually
there.
think it's a blessing in the
And having City away as well. And you dropping points against
Who's getting
there are
robbed?
very small guys. There is very small margins in the league last season. Very small margins in the league last season. So for me, because you have Spurs away and you have Man City away right after, you shouldn't have dropped points now. I am staring at a 4-point gap in game week 5. 4-point gap in game week 5. When Rodri hasn't played a minute in the Premier League yet. Foden has played one half. It can be 4 points. If you lose to Manchester City away at the Etihad, which is no one here is going to sit down and tell me that the more likely outcome of the game of Arsenal winning, as Arsenal when they play City at home, the more likely outcome is Arsenal winning at the Emirates and City winning at the Etihad. Same goes for Liverpool, for everyone. I'm staring at a 4-point gap right there, just after 5 games. And we know that can stretch and stretch and stretch. And that is my point.
But so
And I can't
Wait,
remember.
can I just say something about what
as-
Ollie said? Because Ollie said there's a nice fairy tale there about how Sir Alex Ferguson was unbeatable, and then he wasn't getting plus 90 points every season. And the margin for error is so small that even one referee decision or not doing an offside line, and we basically can't win. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a bit hopeless now because of the situation. Like
You know what it is
we
though. Like,
need to have everything going our way, and it's not going to go our way.
to that point, the point tally has been going up year on year, and like over time, point tallies have been going up. That is true, right? But in the context of that, Man United were literally by and far the best team in the league. Like there was no team close to them, and then Arsenal came and did what they did, right? And that's just the reality of it, right? And we came from a position that was even worse. We were 8th under Bruce Rioch or whatever it is, and we turned that all around and finished that. And it comes back to the original question of can Man City be stopped? And that's why I'm like, Man City can be stopped. Now, probability is different. If you said to me, what's the probability of Man City win the league? I would say Man City have got a higher probability than Arsenal. I would never argue that point. But to say, can Man City not win the league it's impossible to say that Man City cannot not win the league, because that's just like life doesn't work that way. Football doesn't work that way, and we've seen Leicester. Okay, fine. Or based on your sample size, Leicester should never have won the league. They've never won the league.
Yeah, but that's correct. No, but that is correct.
Things
Leicester
happen.
shouldn't have
They wouldn't have won the
but
league.
that's why-
Exactly.
Wow.
That's my point. Things happen.
Yeah, but you're
but you're talking
hoping
about-
on
You're-
hope. We're not being
you're
logically
talking
literal when we
Olu
say
is
there's
doing
no
the-
way possible they can't lose the
We're
league.
talking about an
Yeah,
anomaly.
an asteroid could come and hit the Etihad and destroy it, and they're out for the rest of the season. Like that's logically possible. There's no contradiction in that.
I told you, B samples.
But the amount of teams that can go toe to toe with Man City is like diminishingly small. It's not like we're dealing with a juggernaut in Chelsea, and Man United are like, they could take down City at any point. And the only team that used to be able to reliably take points was Spurs, and that's changed since they got Postecoglou.
I've said
We
that,
took
like,
we
the-
took points off City last year. Don't give me that.
You got a
You know,
draw or
it's like
something,
barring,
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
barring Man City.
Yeah, they took
Arsenal-
2 points off
Let's
them.
not
Yeah.
talk about at Spurs ground what happened there, that abomination of a game.
Oh,
but-
what? Hey,
Oh, you
son,
mean
son,
where
you
they
mean-
won
Run
by
your
one
hands.
goal? Like,
Yeah,
not
well,
Yeah,
even
they
goal
didn't
kick
draw
battle,
offside
like-
Run your
lines.
hands,
They
mate.
didn't
Let's
miss some. This is
Let's
a
not go
one-on-one
back.
that he
Let's
noticed.
not go
Uh,
back to stats.
all I'm
I
just
just
gonna say,
find
I
it
feel like
ridiculous,
I feel like if you look at the top 6 here, barring realistically, obviously, well, Man City, Liverpool at times can, in their current state, I would say, can at times get Man City. and Arsenal. The rest of us, like, again, we're kind of going through this like transition stage, right, where we're still not where we used to be at our greatest level. So like again, it's even the other guys, even if they were to help you, like beat Man City, they themselves are in a transition period where they can't really beat them either. So
that's it. I've seen Brentford go to Etihad and win games when Tony scored. Oh no, he's left, hasn't he? God, damn it.
He's left. JJ is saying Liverpool
Right,
is the
no
only team
chance.
to push
You walked into that.
City. That's actually JJ. Hold on, guys. JJ, that's actually false. Liverpool are the only team to push City points wise. Arsenal just did it last season. Just did it happen. It was just here last season, JJ. So that's not a fact. It's actually not a fact, to be honest. But listen, people, come on, people, let's get to 300 likes before we end the stream.
You're going to ask him about Sancho. Ahmed was going to have.
Are we going to do Man United Liverpool tomorrow? The big game. Come on.
Yeah.
It's only right to grill.
I actually
Ahmed
want, like, why do people think? Does anybody here think that Sancho is gonna just magically go back to the Dortmund level at Chelsea? Does anybody think that?
Well, at Chelsea, no. That is a burial
I'm
ground.
on me. You know what I would say?
Burial ground for attackers.
Allow me. Ahmed is like, let me talk.
Listen.
Wait. Did
let me
you
be
actually
serious.
buy Jadon Sancho?
Yeah, he's gonna be. Yeah, I'll
Thank
be
the
Dubai.
Lord, in 2 seasons he's coming. We'll save him. Don't worry.
No ways, man. My God. You know what's crazy? What I will say is that again, I look at him from a depth perspective. Hopefully, he starts cooking for me as well. But he's better than Mudryk in it, so that's doubly, man. That's doubly.
I'm better than Mudryk.
Is he now?
Oh, according to Ahmed, it doesn't matter if they're better
England,
than what
is
you
he
already
though?
had. You know, that's not a reason to get a player.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That's Ahmed. Ahmed say different.
What Will just said is very pertinent. I've always believed this. He said, "In England, is he?" And I've always thought that Sancho is a player who he might be one of those players who suits a league better than does the
I agree with that
EPL.
comment.
I think in the German
That's a
league,
little waffle, by the way. That's waffle.
whatever. In the German league,
Not
where it's
waffle.
not as fast, but not as fast as the Premier League.
You're
I
not
think-
overrating the Prem.
Right.
You know what I would say?
So
Olu,
far,
though?
facts.
What I would say, Olu.
Wait,
Different
listen.
styles of play,
Hold on.
man, in every single
Exactly.
league.
It's not about the quality of the Prem. It's the speed of the Prem, and I think that he is not as he doesn't get up to speed in Premier League games.
That's another
The same
misconception
week.
as well.
All right, whatever.
You know what I will say.
Can I want to,
Chelsea
before you go on,
system-
I was called out. I was called out for something. I said Sancho is 7th choice forward, only above Modric. Am I wrong? So
You're
let me
not wrong.
count the names.
I won't even tell you.
Let me, guys, in the chat, and I know that the one who made that comment is in the chat. Someone called me out and said, "You're deluded. He's not our 7th choice." Let me just name the names, right? Before Sancho, and let me know. And before that, JJ here is saying Arsenal never reached the magical 91 points.
Love it. Just pick a number that they haven't
JJ,
reached.
I get what you're saying, but Arsenal last season until the last game of the season, City had to win, and before that, City had to win.
Liverpool
Let me just
reached
do this
100 points.
before we go to Sancho as well. Super chats are coming about the Arsenal. What is the responsibility of other teams? I find it hilarious. Rivals sitting here waiting Arsenal to stop City. How about their teams?
Because
don't
we
deflect.
play
Don't
City,
deflect.
we play City twice a season.
Yes.
Like the rest of the other
Oh,
games,
It's not calling you out.
Hey,
It's silly.
calma, emotions. Chill. He's not
silly.
calling you.
Olu's hot,
He's
man. Olu's
backing
hot
us.
because he knows he's
It's
not
not,
the
it's
league.
not calling
Olu's
you
hot
out.
because he
It's
looks
not
like
my
calling.
bad.
Stop,
My
stop,
bad.
Olu.
Yeah.
This
No,
is
that-
directed to the rivals, Olu.
I get annoyed when people say, "Why don't you stop City?" And I'm like, I'm sorry, like Arsenal only play
Yeah.
City. Well, yeah, but
You know
I'm
it
sorry,
is,
I
man. Olu's
read
hot.
it wrong. My bad, my bad, dog.
You know it is, man. Olu's hot because he knows he's not gonna win the league in it, so it's all good.
Oh, you called me hot. I mean, yeah, I'm married.
I beat City regularly, so
And
Just gonna let him get away with that.
Huh?
it's a fact.
Anybody want to respond to? Yeah. Do you guys
Yeah, I
think
was
that
fun.
everyone is? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, listen, this is just another way of like, he's just trying to feel better about himself, you know.
Excuses
That's
FC,
all.
man. Excuses FC, man.
He's just because the
You
thing
win
is,
the
yeah,
league yourself, man. Do your job,
thing
man.
is,
Don't worry about us.
Right, the thing is, obviously, you've built a team now with this manager. You've backed him. You've obviously bigged up the players you have. You can't blame us rivals, yeah, for having expectation for you to win the league because it's by your actions and what you said about the players. Do you get it? So don't spin it on us. You have to back it now. You've done the talking. You've backed the manager. You've given him time. You've given him the profiles he needed. It's time to deliver. If he
I
wins,
mean,
But rivals don't even want us to win, right? Like you guys would rather City win. So
No, I want
course.
you to win.
You're my personal rival. You're my personal
see,
rival. So of
Mo's
course,
your
don't ever go
number
with
one
me.
fan. Mo's your number one fan. See, look at him.
Listen, I'm
Bro,
a Chelsea fan.
bro,
Man,
just-
don't want me to think I'm a
Mo's
Chelsea
just
fan.
anti-City winning.
Hell no.
Guys, I think you guys don't understand. I just want you guys to picture December. City are 10 points ahead. Why are we watching the league? Why?
To see
Because
What
it's
is
fun.
the point of
Bro,
me
it's
waking
tough,
up?
bro,
It's a
tough.
beautiful
What is the
game.
point of me
Football's
waking
great.
up at
Oh, man.
6:30 in the
Mo,
morning,
Mo,
watching the league?
to
Because
I
see
guys,
if
I'm
Mo,
gonna give you guys something. Man City win 5 Pete. They strengthen again next season. Pep renews 2 years. What is the point?
to
Formula
see
One.
What are we doing?
to see if my
People,
can get more
rivals,
than
if your
-1.
rivals think, if you guys rivals think that Arsenal winning the league is worse because you are rivals, you guys don't understand this point. And
No,
I've been maintaining
No, I
consistent.
understand it.
this-
I understand it. Look, I don't care if
will be back.
Ipswich
Bro,
beat
it
City
is
for the league title.
horrific, bro. It's bad
Just not
for the
Arsenal.
league.
No,
Just
no,
not
trust
Arsenal.
me.
That's the
No,
I don't
difference.
care if it's
no,
Ipswich, dude. Not
Mo.
Arsenal.
Mo, you do not want Arsenal winning the league. Trust me. And I'm
No,
telling
I
you
want
no,
right now.
Arsenal in the league.
Oh, you're working
I'm telling
against
you.
us.
Oh no, I'm
Bro,
telling you.
I
No,
want
no, no,
Arsenal.
Mo has no invested interest in who, like,
I know.
really, because
Mo,
who cares? He's an Inter Milan
Mo,
fan. Who's
Mo,
why is he gonna
Mo.
care?
I want you to win the league,
Mm.
bro.
No,
It
I
will
know, but
break
I'm
the
just saying,
internet,
like, you know,
bro.
this idea of
Mo.
like, oh, the fan base is gonna go on a frenzy. Mo doesn't care. Why
Forget-
does
no.
he-
You know what? He
Forget
doesn't
that.
understand, yeah, what it's going to be like here. Having Arsenal fans
Ahmed,
who are
Ahmed,
also in
Ahmed,
London, who are also
Ahmed.
in London, yeah, and do,
Ahmed,
you know,
for you
celebrate
in
like
London,
that.
90, guys, hold on. 95% of Arsenal fans don't live in London. That's
No,
a
no,
fact.
but I've listened.
Worldwide.
As someone
But
that lives
it's
in
the
London,
same
You
with-
talk about
you
yourself.
That's the same with any Premier League team.
That's true.
Yes,
But Mo, listen
but
to me.
Yes.
Mo,
So
listen
for
to me.
them to say London is gonna be this for a month, for 2
Forget that.
months,
Mo,
No, it
Yeah,
is,
but we're all
man.
gonna-
It
no, no,
is.
no,
Look,
what's
we
gonna
haven't
happen
had
is
to
we're all
deal with
taking
that mess
annual
since
leaves.
2004,
We're all
right?
gonna go
Like,
on
he's
holiday.
not
We're all
looking
going
forward
to
to having
London
it
and we're
again.
raiding.
Mo,
bro,
listen to
he
me.
doesn't know.
Mo,
Mo does not know, bro. If
Mo
you
Mo
win the
doesn't
title,
know.
Mo,
Mo
doesn't
don't
know.
know.
Wait, listen,
Please,
guys.
no, you
Wait,
guys,
wait,
I
wait.
don't think you guys understand how Man United,
Mo.
my friends, Man United fans, when they won the treble and they won the 3, you guys don't understand. I understand exactly how you guys, like Man United were insufferable when they were winning.
Mo,
Terrible.
They were insufferable
You
when
did
they
with
were winning.
Arsenal,
It was
That's-
arrogance, but the difference is, I don't think Arsenal will
Arsenal
be that
fans are
arrogant.
insufferable
Yes,
when
they
they're
will.
not winning.
Mo,
my
listen to me.
God.
Mo, listen to me.
Mo,
Mo, listen-
come on, bro.
wait,
You're
wait,
waffling now,
wait,
man.
wait,
You're
wait,
actually
wait,
waffling, man.
Wait,
These
Mo,
guys, when
Mo.
they win, have you seen what these guys are like when they're winning?
Wait, Ahmed, wait.
What have
Mo,
we done
listen
to you guys? You guys
Mo,
can't even
Mo.
handle it.
Man.
Wait, let me say this.
You just suck.
Let me say this. Mo, I text you every single time about 5-1 into Milan. And that has been how many years ago? Imagine if Arsenal were to win a league. You're not even in the same league as us, and I will text you every single day. Every single day that we won the league. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah, but from like a sporting
Guys,
competition,
it
most
is so
point is
easy
that,
to
like,
banter Arsenal. You guys are, it's so easy to banter Arsenal
Yes,
fans.
it is easy. It is
It's
easy.
very
But they
easy, guys.
bring
But you've
it on
seen
themselves.
them.
They bring it on
Look, dude.
themselves.
Bro, just look at like half the YouTubers, Arsenal YouTubers, and just tell me, like, bro.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it's like,
wait.
oh, it's not their fault.
You can't
I
banter
said
me.
half. I said half.
You can't banter me.
I said half.
Okay, cool.
Guys,
This
guys,
is-
No,
let's
you
just
guys don't have any-
I'll be honest.
we
You're
gotta-
actually not insufferable.
No,
I've
you
never
guys
yelled
don't
at
have any
you.
chance of winning the
Don't
league,
say that.
so they don't
So say that
care.
again.
I said
I'm not
you're
insufferable.
not insufferable.
Oh, what a nice thing to
Homie-
say.
There's a few that aren't.
What
TJ's
what
pretty
do you wanna
good.
say about Sancho? I just want to know what people want to say about
Well,
Sancho.
okay, remember
Before we do
Pepe?
that about Sancho, Andrew Wright is saying in one game you can win against City, but in a long season they win.
We'll see.
Somehow
We'll
that
see.
is true. We'll see. Hopefully not. Hopefully not, Andrew. And Cal1X is saying, why won't Ten Hag challenge?
Because he's
He-
shit.
Has he not been
Yeah.
back? Has he
Are
not
you
been back?
serious?
Has he not
Has he-
been backed?
He has.
But he got his Beyblade from Ajax, innit? Why can't he?
He has been backed, and he's a shit coach, innit? What do you want me to say about him?
Yes.
All right, I'll leave you admit it. All
Do you
right.
know? Do you know Ten Hag has spent more money now than Arteta has?
Yeah, and he's got more
Yes,
trophies
man.
than you as well. So hold on.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
listen.
Has
We've
got
got
any
how
back
many-
pocket
we've
legendary?
got- how many?
Has
He's
he
like-
got an Emirates Cup?
Bring your community shield, fam. Bring your community shield. Where's your community
We're
shield?
talking over each other, guys. We're talking over
Has
each other.
he got an Emirates Cup?
Has he got community shield?
Okay,
you
guys.
can't
The
community
last
shield-
point we need to, guys.
No, I need to make a point about Sancho before you roll on, right? Arsenal got murdered for signing Pepe for 72 million. Sancho was 74 million. Has been absolutely terrible, and you guys just let him go. You took a bath for 50 million, and now Ahmed,
And
the other
wages.
Ahmed over there, is paying 250K a week for his services, like top dollar. You wouldn't break the bank for Osman, but you're like breaking the wage structure for Sancho.
All right,
What the hell's going on?
listen. I'm gonna be real with you. I've been very neutral on Osimhen. I personally didn't mind if he came to my club. I
What?
think if he came to my club, we would be locked in my personal opinion.
You're- Sorry. Ahmed, you're lying.
Let him
I
finish.
watched
Let
your
him finish the
stream.
point. Let him
No,
land the
I wa-
point.
He's
Let
lying.
him land
He's
the
lying
point.
right now on Beyonce's internet.
He's
He's lying.
lying.
He's lying. I watched his stream. He was telling the Chelsea fans, "Calma, Osimhen is coming. Don't you dare lie to me." So you can lie to
They got
everyone
away
else.
with that one.
I was there. Okay.
Listen,
Okay,
man.
bro.
Listen, I was thinking about the
It's
transfer was gonna
4K.
happen.
4K.
Listen, on the transfer show that I was doing yesterday, yeah, I thought it was gonna come. But listen, at the end of the day, it didn't happen, right? But I have to move on. That's just you guys got Sterling and he moved on. So for me, listen, I think if he had gotten Osimhen, it would have been a lock. But I just think the issue was the club didn't want to break their wage structure for Osimhen. And I'll be honest, man, I kind of understand it. If you're not gonna, willing to break your structure for Osimhen, then my thing was, okay, move on to another guy. Why did you not bring in another person if you weren't willing to break your structure for Osimhen? You should have known at some point in time, okay, time to find someone else. That's what it is for me.
You guys offered him Nketiah money.
But
That was
no, we
insulting.
did. That's not. No, I think we offered him something like. I think the max we offered was like 200K a week plus incentives. But the issue is right now.
I heard 60K a week, and then you
No.
get told about
That one was the news source that it came from was like not reliable.
Demasia.
Yeah, Fabrizio was like we offered around about 250 to 200K a week actually in base, not including incentives. And like the thing is, right now we don't have European football, right? We only have like Conference League. We don't have Champions League football, so we don't actually have the money to provide these players.
Say that again.
We don't have the facilities.
Before that.
Listen, okay, we don't have the facilities
No,
for
before,
that.
no, before that. Before that.
No, nothing. No, straight off the record. But no, I'm being serious. Like, I don't think they have the actual like money if they wanted to even pay him that sort of like wage bracket in my personal opinion, due to FFP. Like,
I mean,
UEFA
you can
one.
sell another hotel if you really needed to.
Listen, okay, we sold it to ourselves. We sold it to ourselves in it, so it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're doing. Washington's
Can we
going
go
to your
back?
other
Let me
club,
go
you know.
No, it's not actually. That got cancelled because.
Yeah,
but you guys have to
they-
talk. Stop speaking, man. Stop speaking about my
money
dealings.
laundering, these
Stop
tactics.
speaking
and
about
that
Let
guys
me
do,
let me name the players that I think are ahead of Sancho, right? I think Nicholas Jackson, Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto, João Felix, Noni Madueke, and Nkunku. So he's the step.
Oh, but most of them
Am I
are
wrong
half-backs, though. They're not wingers.
I think he's
Pedro
gonna play.
Neto's a
Can I
winger.
rebuttal that? Can I
Neto's a
rebuttal that?
winger.
Can I rebuttal
Yeah,
that?
boy.
Whereas João Felix,
Wow, wait.
Jackson, and Nkunku, I don't think will really play on the
Nkunku-
wing.
Hold on. Number one Sancho defender here. Go ahead.
Let's
And
go.
obviously, Nkunku, Nicholas, and what's his name? Felix are more
Palmer.
strikers. Palmer's a 10. He plays in the 10. Pretty sure he plays in
Plays
the
right
10.
wing.
I'm talking about the wingers here out wide. Sancho would be Chelsea's best winger.
Wait,
Oh
wait.
my goodness me.
Why is Palmer?
Come on, Ahmed, bro.
No,
Ahmed,
he
please,
will
bro.
be, yeah.
You're killing
No,
yourself, bro, man.
No, I'm not. And I'll tell you why, yeah. I'm talking about wingers, yeah, on the wing. He's better than Madueke. He is. And he's better than Neto. And he's better than Modric.
Why is he better than Neto?
He just hasn't showed
He is.
it.
He is. Just
Wait,
because.
why? You can't just say he is. Why is
Because
he?
He's the far more superior footballers. He's a
How?
better footballer. Decision making, creating, shooting, finishing, IQ.
Okay, so
of
if
it.
all of those things that you just said were actually true, he would
Yes,
have more GA than Neto, and he doesn't in
Oh,
England.
the thing is with you, Will, you look at things purely from.
You just said he's the better finisher, the better this, the better that, but none of those things have actually actualized in reality.
Sancho, Sancho. Let me tell you something, The problem is with Jadon Sancho, is that just because he hasn't got good numbers at Manchester United does not mean he's ineffective in the Premier League.
If you're a good finisher, wouldn't you have good numbers? Isn't that hand in hand?
No, because there's many players that get good numbers. For example, Bamford got loads of numbers for Leeds, but he's an awful finisher. He just got loads of chances. If you feed Sancho the goal,
okay, so then there's a specific number that you can look at that would tell you that.
It's down to the team and how.
Do you know what you hold on?
The shot on target.
Well, do you know what you fell for here? Do you guys know? Well, you would literally fell for the trick that a lot of Man United fans they like.
I didn't fall for any trick.
And he hasn't even.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what is the trick, though. They take you to the numbers, so they tell you it's the system, it's this and that. But people forget that Sancho, you can count the number of games that he was good on one hand for Manchester United over 3 seasons. Forget numbers. I'm going to forget output and numbers. I'm going to forget the output and numbers. Jadon Sancho, more times than not, I'm going to say 80% of the times he played for Man United, Man United fans said, yeah, you started great, but you really faded off the game. We don't like you here. Why don't you work hard? Why don't you play? Why don't you play? And that is why a lot of Man United fans want to take us to the numbers game, so they blame it on the number of chances and the coaching. But other players
easily debunked.
But also
but that's the problem. The problem is Man United fans, some Man United fans want us to forget that Jadon Sancho, apart from the numbers, hasn't even performed well. Like he steps on the pitch for the Premier League and he didn't play well. Like, because people think the winger is only outputs. Some wingers, it's not about the outputs, it's about being effective in the game. I see you creating out chances for other people. I see you taking your man to the line. I see you being scary on the line. Jadon Sancho was never one of these guys.
He does
in
create
3 years.
But also,
Habibi, that is not for you. He did it for Dortmund, Ahmed.
No, I'm talking about
Man
United
in the Premier
But
League.
would you not argue though? Would you
Never did it for Man United.
How do people say Sancho? If Sancho played well for Man United, why did his value drop?
Mo, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Mo?
Yes.
Do you think Havertz improved from Chelsea to Arsenal?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think that? What do you think that's down to, by the way? Because technically, he had a 3-year sample size and he wasn't really doing that well, and he failed at Chelsea. Why do you think he's a better player right now?
He had 3 years at Chelsea, and I'm watching him, and he wasn't good.
Yeah.
It's not. When I rate Havertz now, it's not only about the numbers. It's about Havertz now. Sometimes, and most of the time, for Arsenal, he plays better than his time at Chelsea. He's getting back to the Leverkusen time when he was the next big thing for Germany.
So would you not say that?
I see some games.
Would you not say that? Would you not say that's?
Hold on, guys. I got him here. Go ahead, Ahmed.
Is that not so?
That?
Is that not also down to Arteta and the system and the coaching that he has at Arsenal?
100%.
So what's stopping Sancho joining a team that is more possession based that suits his skill sets and you've seen him do it in the Champions League.
So we never said that.
Because people are saying, oh, he's
but I'm gonna rebuttal your point.
Go on.
Long story short, it was less likely than Arteta would bring back Havertz to Bayer Leverkusen after the 3-year sample we saw at Chelsea, but he did it. Right?
Okay.
I am predicting now the more likely outcome for Chelsea when Jadon Sancho will not be a starter for Chelsea because there are players ahead of him that he will kick a fuss again because of not playing. Sancho doesn't work hard. This Chelsea team, if you watch Chelsea deeply now, they work really hard. Some majority of the players.
He's not even kicked the ball yet. So how do you know he's not going to work hard?
But I'm telling you, I am basing it on the sample. I'm basing it on the sample size. I have seen it under Ralph.
He was our best player under Ralph. He was our best player under Ralph.
No, he was not the best player under Ralph, my man.
Let me
I'll let you go after this. I'll get
bro, go speak. Go check what Ralph was saying, bro. He was
Ahmed, you agree with this, okay? And this is the thing when you make this thing about a system, right? Don't get me wrong. Yes, some players play like a system doesn't suit them, right? But then we've seen players such as Hazard. And I'll say Sancho, in terms of what we think Sancho is in the same vein. Yes, but people were talking about Sancho like as a generational player. Let's not
talking about from people's
before-
perspective. Sancho ain't generational, but he's a world-class potential.
But listen, what I'm saying. That's what that is. Even world-class potential. All that thing you want to say
Did he
is all the
fucking
same
just
thing.
say world-class potential,
Yeah.
bro?
Yeah, so why are we forgetting?
Can I just say-
Why are we
This is crazy. What are we
Why
talking
are we
about
forgetting?
here?
Why are we forgetting what he did?
Let me
Why are we
finish. Let
forgetting
me
what
finish
he
my
did?
points. Let me
What,
finish my
at
point.
Dortmund for
Why are
2,
we
3
forgetting?
years?
Let me finish
Why
my
are we
point. Let me
forgetting?
finish my- Please let me finish my point.
Forgetting what Timo Werner
Will.
did at RB Leipzig. Why are we
Will.
forgetting it? 4
Will,
years.
what's-
What we do in
Will.
Champions League?
Four.
We didn't do anything in the Champions League.
Let me
Bro,
just finish.
Can I be-
Timo
listen,
Werner was
listen,
what?
listen.
Hold on,
You know
hold
what I
on,
was
everyone, please. This is a very good point. Timo Werner was amazing at Leipzig. Chelsea got him
Amazing.
literally missing open nets, couldn't
But-
work. I have
63
seen this.
goals in 3
And by the way,
seasons
this
at
is-
Leipzig.
And the problem is we never predicted him to look like this, by the way. But the sample size is there for him.
But
He literally, Jadon, when Timo Werner went to Chelsea, there is a sample size. I'm not saying that every player will move from the Bundesliga and it won't work in the Premier League. But I'm saying I have seen two sample sizes, two samples. I've seen him at Dortmund bowling, even the second spell, going back to Man United, and still not good. So I'm
Can I
let
ask
me
you a
finish
question?
my point.
But let me.
Wait, let me finish
Yeah.
my point very quickly. So I said, you remember the season where you guys finished 10th, Ahmed, and Hazard was by far the best player in your team, even though he was in a crap system that essentially, like,
It was Willian. I can't lie to you. Actually, it was Willian.
no, but he also played really well. He played above the system, right? We've seen players who have played in crap systems, even at Arsenal, right? We had like someone like maybe not Cesc Fabregas, maybe too much of a freestyle system, but we've seen players in crap
Game is
systems.
more system-based now, though.
Wait,
More
the point
system-based.
making this, we've seen players in crap systems who play above. The problem is Sancho, we have a Man United, and we're not talking about Dortmund, I'm not talking about his actual talent itself, right? The problem is that I think it's more of a mentality thing, which is great players can elevate themselves. And I think the difference in Havertz and in Chelsea and Havertz now is confidence. That's all it is. His talent hasn't changed. It's just the confidence he's got in himself.
And
And
it's so damn cheeky though to like try and
So,
use the Arteta
one
fixing
thing-
habits to
so,
say that
let's
Sancho's
listen,
going to
one
change at
thing I
Chelsea.
will-
hold
Because
on,
Chelsea
you
has
know what it is?
no
Let-
track record
Let
of
me
making
speak,
players
please. Let me
better.
speak, please, because I want to actually make a point. Yeah,
It's
let me
not
make my
about
point, please, because so for me personally, I think listen, with Sancho, he's not gonna be a starter straight away. So let's just put that to bed. I think the second point I would make is Man United, in my personal opinion, was not a conducive environment for any player to actually grow and develop in. If any of us here are trying to be honest, yeah, that was not a great place for any player to actually develop and continue to improve themselves, right? So for me personally, it's coming to a Chelsea team where it seems that we're trying to do that sort of thing. We're trying to develop these
you're
guys.
still a mess. You're still a mess.
So for me personally, particularly under Enzo Maresca, I think for me, he's gonna start the Conference League for sure. Listen, if you're very good and you continue to improve yourself, you'll do well. And I think he can, if he gets to the level that he's meant to get at Chelsea, I think it'll just be centrally, not undoing. Probably be central for me.
To Will's point.
By the way, guys, a last point. I want
to
last point because we really have to end the show because this is going to Ahmed's stream. It's been very long for 2 hours. But last point, I want to just give the last point for Sancho. Who wants to make the last point for Sancho?
I'll make
one.
Okay, I'll make one
make
more
the
point.
last one.
Sancho will cook at Chelsea. Sancho will cook at Chelsea. Sancho will cook at Chelsea. That's it. Simple as that, man.
Maresca needs
My
his
last
head
point
checked.
for Sancho is that no matter how bad Kai Havertz and Timo Werner were at Chelsea, Sancho was worse at Man United.
Again,
I don't know how any manager
That's
can
crazy.
seriously say that Sterling
The numbers
is not
prove it.
good enough.
Okay,
But then he wants
shall
to
we
go
go down the
and get
numbers
Sancho.
route?
Ahmed, wait. Martin, make the point, and then I'm let Ahmed talk.
How does someone go, Sterling is not a winger for me, but I want to go get Sancho from Man United. He's just going to cook for us. When Chelsea has no track record of improving players, everyone goes to Chelsea and gets worse.
Malo Gusto, Cole Palmer.
They were
Richard
already good
Richarlison,
before they got to
Nico
your team.
Justo. No,
You're not
listen,
gonna
Nico
fix
Jackson
Sancho at
improved
Chelsea.
in our teams. You know what I mean? So listen, these guys have actually improved. We can say they were good before, but they've become better now. So they clearly have actually improved as players.
Well, it's blind faith. But anyway,
You know what
that
it
was
is? Bro, listen.
Ahmed, the last talk before I do the super chats and get out of here. Go ahead.
Bro,
Ahmed?
but okay, yeah. Sancho, yeah, like I said, I have no doubt of Sancho's ability. I think he's going to do really well. Whether he plays on the left, whether he plays on the right, whether he plays in the 10, Will is saying that statistically, bro. I don't even like using stats here, but I will use a stat. he was actually, this, and by the way, he only started 20 games for Man United in his second season. He's only started 20 games. He was our second most highest chance creator in that team, if you want to use stats here, because I don't like using it. So he does create, he was creating a lot of chances. Yeah, I remember when we had the Weghorst, he missed so many sitters. He's not going to say it on the stat sheet because he only
started 21 games in the second season, 20 in his first.
Oh my days, one game difference. What did he do?
Anyway.
Okay, yeah, I know the numbers. That's why I know I'm right.
I think I just didn't see the reason for Chelsea to spend 25 million next season on Jadon Sancho unless they're gonna flip him. Andrew here is saying Mo, City was 12 points clear in 2022, but won by 1 point. Fair enough, but Liverpool went on a mad run. So maybe. I hope that you are right. Logan here is saying Mo, sort out the mod ZL banning people for nothing, bro. Guys, for the mods, please don't ban people for saying banter or saying one of us talk nonsense. We tell each other you talk nonsense. So the chat has the right to tell us we talk nonsense, unless it's something really, really disrespectful, cussing or something like that, racial or something like political. But please, guys, stop banning people. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the mods, but also, guys, we gotta like actually be mods, not like our opinion. Someone literally banned someone for saying Mo is talking nonsense. It's okay. I talk nonsense all the time. Luke Skywalker saying Sancho only cooking donuts. I guess we'll have to see.
His name is Luke Skywalker, bro. I can't take him seriously. He's probably like 16 in it, so you know who knows.
Ahmed, you're like 17. Calm down.
I'm 25, bro.
Ew. Damn.
Yeah, so you know, like
I'd have thought you were 16. Well, there you go.
I'll take
anyway. Listen, people, before we go on, Ahmed's channel is in the description. AA United does a lot of shorts. Good work by Ahmed. Goes live all the time. AA channel is in the description, and of course, Dio's channel is in the description as well. Gunnar Souls, can you tell the people where to find you?
Pretty much on Twitter or the Football Terrace or like Igal's channel, really. They're like the three main places that you can find me.
All right. And this one is going to take you to the bridge, and also Will has, I think, a show coming up.
Can we do predictions tomorrow? Just quick score predictions. Because we've got a big game tomorrow.
Hold on. Go ahead.
So desperate.
Newcastle, Tottenham. What scores, everyone?
I'm going a cheeky 2-1 Newcastle.
3-1 Newcastle.
Oh.
Will, are you going to take that?
Okay, so if Newcastle wins,
8-0 Newcastle, because that's what always happens.
There is never a 2-1 Newcastle. It's either 6-0 Newcastle or we beat them. That's just the way it is.
What's your prediction? Quick prediction.
Tomorrow I predict 2-0 Tottenham.
All right, I go 3-1.
I'm going to go 8-0 Newcastle because it just seems to be a trend at this point.
And then Liverpool United.
I'm
telling you 3-0 Liverpool. My personal opinion. They're gonna cook.
Yeah, I agree. 3-0.
I think that should be 3-0.
And I think Crystal Palace are going to beat Chelsea 2-1.
Is that so?
Yeah,
you know what, mate? We beat them home and away every single season. So listen, you know what I'm gonna say? 4-0 Chelsea. 4-0 Chelsea. Actually, I'm telling you, bro. 4-0 Chelsea.
We'll see, guys. We'll see. Luke here is saying, guys. Look,
yes, I do have a new show. I was gonna start it last week, but I couldn't because I got like the Rona or something. I couldn't get out of bed for 2 days. But yeah, it's gonna be called The Football Philosopher over on Tottenham Away. So
guy look like Tarazan saying I'm 16.
You've got a picture.
How did you pronounce that?
He's got a picture.
Tarzan, bro. Tarzan.
Do you say Tarzan?
He's got
Tarzan. He thought there was another
He was super Egyptian
in Arabic. It's a very thing.
He's got a picture. He's got a picture of
guys,
a car.
let Ahmed respond.
And he's got a picture of a car, bro. Show your face, man. Weird guy, bro.
Come on, you could do better than that.
Is that a Toyota Tercel? What kind of car was it?
No, that's an M140i. That bad boy.
Luke Skywalker. Who names themselves Luke Skywalker in 2024? Like, what?
Maybe it's his real name.
Tell him he gets no girls, or the force isn't strong with him.
Isn't it? You both, to be honest with you both can do better than this. To be honest.
Meaty battle.
Anyway, guys, this will take you to Ahmed to the Bridge channel where he goes live in a second. We'll see you guys on the other side on Ahmed, and we are out of here.
Shout out Dio. Hope everything's right.
Doubt it costs more than my house, my guy.